Hello and welcome to episode number 338 of the TrailManners podcast. It is our second edition of the Christmas gift guide here in 2024. It's a women's edition. The TrailManners podcast is produced for your enjoyment, and show notes can be found at trailmanners.com. Come back often, and please feel free to add the podcast to your favorite RSS feed or iTunes. You can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook at TrailManners, and don't forget to subscribe, review, and rate us on iTunes. TrailManners would really appreciate any donation via our website at trailmanners.com. And please remember to share us with your friends. All links are in the show notes. Now let's get after it. All right. Like I mentioned, this is episode 338 of the TrailManners podcast. I am your host, Eric Manning. Such a beautiful day. It is podcast launch, November 26th, 2024. This is 1 week after our first Christmas gift guide, number 337, where I had Joel Hatch back behind the mic. Like I mentioned, we try to pump these in before the big sales for Thanksgiving, so it gives you plenty of time to do your research. So don't forget about that. And remember to listen to the whole podcast. We have many contests, lots of free stuff, and we also want your feedback. So don't forget to chime in through all the social channels, wherever this podcast, and get into the contest, and we'll get those squared away. But let's start with the beer of the week. We're going back to Lumberbeard Brewing. We've got Strike of Brilliance. It's a West Coast IPA. As I mentioned last time, I've been digging Lumberbeard Brewing. Got a little fizz going there. So here we go. It's a West Coast IPA, Lumberbeard out of Spokane. Hope they're listening to the podcast, which we know they're not, but maybe one day. Super tasty. I mean, they hit it. They get it right every time. Haven't had a Lumberbeard I didn't like. Oh, it tastes so good right now on my tongue. I'm just going to give myself a second. Okay, now we'll continue. All right. As I mentioned before, I've got two guests on the podcast this time. These two guests were two of the four finishers of the TrailManners Invitational, all four laps. There were four finishers. I have two of them with me. I was actually one. So three of the four finishers right here, and also participants from yesterday's beer mile that we did. And I've got the second place finisher with me. I took third, so that's pretty good. But second place went to Heidi Waddoups, killing it. She's speedy. Heidi, how are you?
I'm so good. I'm happy to be here.
Well, we're happy to have you. And we also have my lovely wife, Sarah Manning, for her return on the podcast. She's done this before, so this will be a great show. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I was the last place finisher yesterday, so there's that.
But you finished.
I did.
Okay, that's all that matters.
Okay.
That's what we talk about on the podcast is just finishing, right? That's a big key to that. So Heidi was gracious enough to bring some beverages to the show. And I couldn't review the one I was brought because I've reviewed it before, but we have one here for that Sarah's got. It's flat from Salt Flats, Slipstream Double. Are you going to open it and let us know what's going on?
Yeah, I'll open it. Thank you, Heidi, for bringing this. I haven't had this one before.
You're welcome.
And it's local. And I noticed that the description says dive right in. So I think I will.
All right, here we go.
Super good.
Good.
I love double IPAs.
She's a Dippa.
I'm a Dippa fan.
Dippa lover. What do you have in front of you, Heidi?
Mine's a little interesting. It's called War on Christmas or Xmas. It's by Illuminated Brewworks.
Oh,
and it's a white peanut brittle stout.
Huh. So you had me at Illuminated because I love them, but then you kind of
I know sure. it's not a double IPA, so but we're gonna give it a
It's
try.
Not even an IPA.
It's not an IPA.
The label's very cool.
Well, it's Illuminated Brewing.
Yeah, it's true.
I think Chicago style.
Ooh, I actually really like that.
Is that better than what did you have yesterday in the beer mile?
Yesterday I had it was from Wasatch Brewing, like a
it
was like a apricot heft.
That's right. Your husband was crushing Coors Lights.
The Coors Light. I
but
know.
He won drinking silver bullets, and he did win.
He did.
So,
I don't know if it counts with light beer, but I guess it does.
Silver bullet.
Yeah.
It's just like water, that stuff. He had his cowboy hat and his high school track singlet, which was very impressive.
Yeah.
And it was cold. You could tell in that singlet how cold it was. So it was snowing yesterday when he had that on. But anyway, thank you both for being on the show. As I mentioned last week, I had Joel on. We went through a bunch of stuff that, through our gift guide, which we've done for many, many years. But the women's episode is awesome because it's stuff I can't cover, right? Like I don't want to, actually, I should say, and I wouldn't be any good at it. So, but before we start, we have 2 Ask TrailManners questions that came in this week. And so you both get to chime in. How special is that?
This is great.
And I know the questions and you both don't. So this is even better.
So you're supposed to give us a heads up. That's
Nah,
not fair.
that's not how we roll. So here we go. First one we have is from Johnny D, listener of the podcast. And this is a great question. What's your go-to phrase when passing someone on the trail? And how far behind them do you sound your call? Now, first of all, I loved that second part, sound your call. So this made me think I want to come up with a call now. Like when I'm passing people, just on like something, right? Some like, so, some type of call. So I love sound your call. So what's your go-to phrase when passing and how far behind? So I don't know I have a go-to phrase because I'm shy by nature and I don't want to freak people out on the trail behind them. But I always, first thing I do, as soon as I see them, I start kicking rocks. When I'm on the trail, I make noise with my feet. So hopefully they just turn around. I don't even have to say anything first, because I have had times where I've come up behind people with headphones or one, and they didn't hear me. And I'm like, man, do I just stop my run? Which I kind of walk because I want to scare them. But I've startled people before, and there's nothing worse, right? So what's your go-to phrase? Again, I make noise far as I can, keep going until they turn around. Then I'm usually pretty good to go. So quick as I can, I make some noise. And then when I pass them, I just, oh, thank you so much. Hope you have a great day. Just very kind. And thank you for letting me pass. Hope you have fun. Thanks for not biting me or spraying with mace. I usually follow up with that just to make sure. But how about you both? Like, is there a distance you prefer? And also, this would be a really good question because we have this a lot, like being women on the trail. You're both fast, so people won't really pass you, but is there things you appreciate? Because I've had this conversation with many women. They're like, man, it scares me when people come up and blah, blah, blah. So chime in on this one.
I don't know that I have like a go-to. As far as if I'm coming up on somebody in a race, then I think whenever I'm passing them, I try to just maybe quickly ask how their day is going, just have a little brief interaction, give them some encouragement. Sometimes if you're passing somebody, maybe they're going through a little bit of a rough patch or something.
Like me.
And so, maybe it's just
she says,
word.
Like
No.
you, like when you go through a rough patch.
It's like anybody. I think.
Passed me on the beer mile. I was having a rough patch.
And I think I said, like, good job. Like, keep it up. Like, yeah.
You were kind of trying to be motivational.
Let's go.
And I was
yeah.
just burping when you passed me, so. Yeah, that's good.
But yeah, I do on just when I'm out on the trail and there's somebody ahead of me that has headphones, I just always think, oh no, because I have scared multiple people on the trail, and it'll be like, some muscly looking guy, and I have I've made them like scream like a little girl because I've startled them. But I try way back, like you said, try to make some kind of noise. I'm kicking rocks, like here I come, and then I'll say like, hey,
nice muscles.
And then they still don't hear me, and so then I try to not scare them, but inevitably it's happened.
How about you, Sarah?
I always run with my dog, so he has a bell at all times on his collar, and so usually people hear that first. And if they don't notice that, I whistle at him, so he's my distractor to get people to notice there's somebody behind them.
And one thing that you do that you got to be careful with, I'm sure, is you're like, hey, bear.
Oh, yes.
When you come up behind somebody, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to freak them out that way.
That's true.
His name's Barrett, and you nickname Bear.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing. But so let me ask you this. If someone's coming up behind you, like, what is that like? Do you how do you like to be passed, right? Or if that's happening, if someone's coming up behind you, they need to get around you, what's the most comfortable way that happens?
Well, I think you nailed it, though, when you said that we're fast and nobody passes.
Yeah.
No, I think just hey, I'm right behind you, whatever it is, just say something.
Yeah.
And it might startle me, but that's okay. We get over it quickly.
Yeah. I usually don't have headphones in, so I feel like I can usually hear somebody coming up behind me, and you can kind of tell like, oh, they're coming up really fast, and I'll just hurry and hop off to the side. And I do appreciate if they say something. It's kind of weird if there's no interaction at all.
That's when you worry, right?
Yeah. It's a
like,
little weird. Like, just say hi.
Like a whole onesie on.
But and then if it's during a race and it seems like somebody's, coming up behind me and maybe we're going similar paces, then same thing. I'll just kind of have a conversation like, hey, who's back there? Let me know if you want to pass. And then I'll hop off to the side or whatever. So,
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, Johnny, thanks for sending that in. And I'm actually going to work on sounding my call. I'm going to work on a call, like something just pretty legit.
Yeah.
My dog, I just have my Vizsla's Timber, so I could just yell real loud, Timber! And people just think I'm falling, right?
So between me and you, we have Bear and Timber.
Bear and Timber.
Oh, yeah.
So I got to really come up with something then.
Yeah. You got to step up your game.
I do.
All right. So that was Johnny D. We got one more question. This is from Stacy from Idaho. I'm pretty new to trail running. I started in 2020 during the pandemic and haven't looked back. I love it. I've done a few 50Ks, but want to try a 50 miler, then a 100 miler. How in the world do you decide what races you are doing? It seems like there are a ton and new ones every day. There are a couple I have looked at that you've mentioned. Beaverhead is high on the list, but how do you decide, especially when there are multiple good ones on the same day or a week or two apart? And she says, thanks, Stacy. Stacy, I've been battling with this all year again, just because there are so many races I want to do, and so many races that, like the Beaverhead is still one I'm thinking about. I looked this morning, there's still spots in the 100K and the 55K, just because I've done the 55K, the 100K's got me. So it's like right there, but then there's like Mount Hood 50 that weekend, and there's, some stuff around it. So that's a really good question. So I think, first of all, congratulations, being a trail runner and loving it and doing your 50Ks. There are new ones that pop up. I just saw 2 more Utah hundreds pop up this week. And that's pretty crazy when you're talking, we've already got like 4,700 milers in Utah, I feel like, and we have 2 more. I think it kind of goes back, we've talked about on the podcast before, is what do you enjoy, right? Because if there's, like me, I'm more of a trees, mountain, green type guy. I'm not as much in the desert, and I don't like heat. So I try to gravitate, like the Pacific Northwest really gets to me, even though I haven't raced up there. But that's what I'm trying to figure out too, is how do you decide? I think it's travel costs, location, what the course is like, what your vibe is. Are you low key? Do you like live streaming? And then weather, right? I mean, there's so many variables because there are a ton of races, and both of you have done some amazing races and locations. And I'm sure there's some on your list. You're just like, man, I really want to do that. But sometimes I think it's hard when you do a race. Okay, I've done that one. I can move on. Be like, but I really liked that one. And you want to do it again, right?
Yeah.
So I think the question really, as it comes to you, is what fits your schedule the best? What type of race do you enjoy? Low key, location, vert, flat, what kind of is your go-to there? And then just putting a couple on your list and going for it. And then know the next year you might have to do the opposite one or the other one you thought of. And there's also, if you have friends doing it, sometimes that's fun to go with some friends or something. So how about you two? Like, how do you decide the races you want to do?
For me, it has to do with timing and recovery. And so if my last race of the season, or, several months out, is like 100 miler, and I also know I want to do a 50 miler, I try to time it so that can be a training run for the last big one.
Okay.
Also, you nailed it on what do you enjoy? So
I keep telling my wife, no more July races. And I'm looking at 2, right? That's how not smart I am.
Yeah.
I don't like call myself the D word dumb, but I'm like, no more July. And I'm like, God, there's 3 in July. Cascade Crest, Mount Hood 50, Beaverhead 100K.
Mm-hmm.
Are you putting in for the Cascade Crest?
We'll have that discussion offline.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
How about you, Heidi Waddoups?
Yeah, I think you guys hit a bunch of points. Just timing, lining it up with your schedule. I think something to take into consideration is just your kind of schedule. What do you have going on in your life, whether that's like your kids are in school or out of school at certain points,
or you got
maybe
a puppy.
You got a new puppy.
You have time for anything.
Exactly. Or, maybe your job is busier at certain seasons of the year or something. And so really taking that into consideration, because all stress adds up with your running stress added onto it. And so you can make things harder or easier on yourself by planning that timing. And then, I think if you have a certain distance goal for a race, you can type that into Ultra Sign Up, put in, how far you're willing to travel, and it'll pull up a whole list, and then just start pulling up their websites, see which one speaks to you, and whichever one is really just pulling at you the most, like, oh yeah, I want to go to that area and check it out, or oh, I can't travel that far right now, but that terrain sounds awesome. Just, yeah, whichever one just grabs you and go for that.
And the other thing, Heidi makes a good point. The other thing I'd kind of recommend too, if you have time, is maybe, Google that race, because sometimes there's podcasts from people that have ran that race. People still do blogs, and you can read kind of what people experienced, because I think that's a big piece to that as well. Kind of what people are experiencing with that race. Was it run well? The volunteers, smooth location. I mean, there's some that you can't camp at the start and it's a long drive. So, but I think Heidi nailed it. And also, as I found out this morning, a lot of races are moving to run sign up, and I'm new to run sign up. And so I kind of fiddled with their search, and it's actually pretty spot on too. So either one, but there's a lot more moving to run sign up. And I'm going to break the news, even though I'm recording this before it's happened, but El Vaquero's moving to run sign up. I just talked to the RD this morning, so that'll open up. It'll be open by the time this launches. Probably sold out. All right. Are you two ready?
I think so.
It's go time.
Do it.
So Joel and I recorded a podcast, and there's some noticeable things we missed. So maybe they'll be on yours, maybe not. But like sunscreen, sunglasses, arm sleeves, some little outliers that people still use that I've been noticing. But I'm going to start off, and we kind of go down the list, just like Joel and I did. I'm going to start with outerwear. Okay, so that's kind of like your jackets, your pants, and the ETCs, which means etc. So whoever wants to start, I'll let you go, and we can kind of go from there. Outerwear.
Okay, Sarah says I'm up first. So outerwear, my favorite jacket right now is the Salomon Bonatti. And I like the Crosswind. They have a waterproof version of the Bonatti as well. But for me, just the Crosswind is perfect. It still is water resistant. It's kind of a different fabric front versus back. The back of the jacket's a little more breathable, which I really appreciate, because sometimes in a waterproof jacket, it's a little too waterproof. It's not breathable. And then you end up wet anyways because you're super sweaty underneath. So I love that jacket. It's one of the few jackets I've been able to wear out when it's raining and still actually come home with my shirt underneath dry. So I love that. Retail's $100. I looked the other day and they've got certain colors on sale right now for $60, which is a steal of a deal. So
on anything,
go grab that jacket.
Man, that's a good deal. And that's the other thing. There's so many sales going on, REIs, and you got the Black Fridays coming up. So do your research on these things for sure. Pricing.
Yeah. So, and that one is also really lightweight, super packable. You can toss it in your pack and you're not even going to notice it back there. So just a nice, just in case jacket to carry with you if you're going up high or if the weather's a little iffy. Just smart to carry an extra layer, and you won't really fill it in your pack at all. So another option that's super packable and light like that is the Patagonia Houdini. I know that's been on the podcast before as well. It's super popular. Just lightweight.
It's just a staple for trail running jacket. Is all it is.
Yep.
It's just solid.
Yep. Super handy. Similar pricing there. Retails $109, but they also have some colors on sale right now for $54. Just like you will get your money's worth out of that jacket.
It's like stealing one.
It really is.
And now they've got them without hoods.
Oh.
Some people don't like hoods. So the Houdini now, hoodless.
Nice.
Yeah. I actually might have one or two.
The next jacket I have, this one is actually my waterproof jacket. I don't often need a full-on waterproof, but if it's really windy and rainy and cold, sometimes you actually need that waterproof. And some waterproof jackets are quite spendy. But just because I don't use mine all the time, I don't want to spend like $400 on a jacket. So I have, it's a Marmot Precip Eco.
Nice.
And it is really waterproof. It will keep you dry as long as it's actually you're needing a waterproof jacket and it's not too warm outside. It doesn't pack down quite as small as like the Bonatti or the Houdini, but still pretty packable, pretty lightweight. And right now you can get it for like $65. So
sheesh.
It's a great, like, just something to have when you need that waterproof option.
The Marmot Precip Echo.
Yeah.
I'm not even looking. I'm a jacket person. That's my
Yeah.
Okay, one of my weaknesses. So I'm gonna have to check that out. I've had a marmot jacket that I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
And the price.
And it's just a little, I
think I just have to have one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Won't break the bank to get that one. And then you'll have that in your little kit of running tools. So, and then I do have like a warmer, kind of like a mid layer when it's really, really cold outside. It's nice to just have an extra layer. Sometimes I'll use this even before a race if it's really cold in the morning, or post race, just to have something warm to put on after. It's the Solomon Essential Warm. It's kind of fleecy on the inside, kind of water repellent on the outside, but not really. But just kind of the warmer layer if it's super cold during the middle of winter. If it's going to be in the teens or negative degrees, then I'll wear a jacket like that. Similar pricing, 100 retail, and you can get it on sale now for 60. So
some of these other ones like the Marmot, the Benatti, those are ones you could layer too, right? Like
Absolutely.
have like a long sleeve, or
Mhm.
maybe even a little bit heavier undershirt, because they are lighter. So it's a good thing to layer with, where maybe this Solomon one with the fleece, you maybe don't layer as much. Is that kind of how you do it?
Yeah, or if I'm gonna layer with that one, it's got to be like really cold outside or something. One thing when you were saying layering, it just reminded me. Sometimes with my jackets, just a key, you might want to think about before you're purchasing some of these jackets. You might want to think about is maybe sizing up if you want to wear it over your pack, because sometimes when you're out there and it's freezing, it seems really hard to like take your pack off, get your jacket out, put it on, and then put your pack back on. Or if it's kind of like windy through one section and you need your jacket, but then now you turn the corner and it's hot and you want your jacket off, having it a little bit bigger so you can have it over your pack. I don't know, you might want to size up a little bit.
That's a good idea. Maybe even like having one jacket like that, because that jacket you may not want to wear by itself because it might be like really big.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not, but that's a really good idea to have for those races. And also could help with whatever's in your back, in your vest, where there might be gloves. You want your gloves wet, things like that. That could help as well.
Yeah, it could help keep your stuff in your pack dry if it's rainy or something. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. How are we doing?
Are we doing leggings now too, or do we want to switch to?
Are we doing what?
Leggings.
Leggings. Oh, leggings. Okay. Leggings.
Leggings. What did I say?
Yeah, I like it. I just wanted to make sure I was understanding, because there could be new stuff I don't know about.
Okay.
Leggings.
Leggings.
So leggings is 3/4. Leggings go all the way to the bottom. Do you have jackets, Sarah?
Well, Heidi and I are very similar. I also have on my list the Patagonia Houdini, and REI. It pretty much always has one on clearance for about that $60 price range. And then my go-to is generally Solomon, though. I'm a Solomon fan when it comes to their jackets. All the different weights, I guess, from that very light thin to the thicker. I actually wore kind of a what would you call that? Mid-weight puffy.
I like
mid-puffy. Yeah.
Let's go with mid-puffy.
Mid-puffy.
We'll start it.
Yeah. That was Solomon. I wore that, at I'm Tough, and that's my rain jacket. So I'm a Solomon fan, and shout out to our local store here. You can usually find really good deals on that gear here. So
at Arc'teryx, downtown Ogden.
Yeah.
What else jacket-wise you have?
Well, those are really the two jackets I only ever wear, or the two brands, if you will. So pretty simple. I'm pretty simple. I have a want jacket, but that's lower down
the list. On the show.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, what's going on in the leggings? What we doing there?
Sure. Okay. Leggings. My number one they're kind of like your splurge price point. I love the Lululemon base pace. They come in a high rise, and I feel like the high rise in a tie or legging really helps it. So they stay in place. You're not constantly tugging at them, and they're not the fabric I love. It feels kind of thinner, but it really is thick once you put it on. I feel like it keeps you warm, and just feels so great. So, and I also feel like you can't go wrong with any of the Lululemon pants, but the base pace is my favorite. And they're usually around 98. They come in a 25-inch length or a 28. So if you have shorter legs or just depending on your preference, you can kind of get whichever length you like the best.
So are you more of a leggings than shorts runner when it gets cold?
No, I kind of have my temperature cutoffs of when I will switch to pants versus shorts. It does change a little bit, like early fall, winter, the cold.
You're getting used to it.
You're getting used to it.
Yeah.
So like 30 degrees in the fall versus spring feels very different.
Sure.
It feels a lot colder in the fall somehow. And then in the spring, 30 feels really hot because we're used to it.
So is that your cutoff, like 30?
Yeah, like I usually say around 32 and below, I'm probably going pants.
Okay.
Anything above that, I'm wearing shorts. And then also it just depends maybe how much it's going to warm up while I'm out there, how long my run is. But yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's your leggings department? Is your Lulu leggings?
That's my favorite.
That sounds like a character on a cartoon. Lulu leggings.
She has
Lulu
pigtails.
leggings. Yeah. She sounds cute. My other leggings that I like, and if you don't want to spend $98, and Sarah and I we've talked about this before, but we both love the Old Navy. And it's one I really wouldn't think of normally for running, but they actually are great. And I have gotten them on sale before for
$7.
$10.
I was going to say, it's Old Navy, man.
Yeah. Like you can get a really good deal and they're great. And yeah, I love them.
See, that's why I like it, is everybody has their own thing, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
we do these Christmas podcasts, and obviously people like Sarah just mentioned, I love these brands, right? So there's definitely things, and when Joel and I did, it was Path Projects, and there were just a few, but I like the variety, because especially if people, like you mentioned, can't afford Lulus, right? But it's like, man, I really want some leggings, but $7, $10 to even $20, that's a good deal, right? Especially for something that you may or may not use often, or we know when you run in the wintertime, you can ripped, tear, snagging, whatever else there is. So this is awesome having these different price points, because Joel went from like normal shorts, like $420 pair of shorts. So he went the wrong direction. He didn't help people out. People are giving plasma right now so they can get the shorts Joel mentioned.
Yeah.
All right. What else we got? How about you, Sarah?
I'm with Heidi on the leggings. Old Navy for the win for sure. And by default, one day whenever I was scrambling to find some leggings at home to put on because it was really cold, I threw on my Vuori performance jogger leggings, and I love running in them, and that was not what I originally bought them for. So Vuori is amazing, as we all know, and I think those ones are about $89. I love them.
The podcast, we're big fans of Vuori.
Yeah.
Last year it was kind of funny. I did a mention on Vuori, right, in the podcast, and like 2 days later I got an email. And it was spam, but it looked legit.
He was very excited.
I was so pumped. Like, I'm like, oh my God. I tagged them. They listened, and they're like, hey, we want you to be one of our ambassadors. We'll give you X amount a month in gear. And I'm reading this whole thing. And man, I was running around just happy as can be. And then I looked at the address it came from, like, damn.
Oh, that's rude.
Wasn't it rude?
Yeah.
Like, because like, who spams a Vuori on me?
Seriously.
Right? Like,
that's just mean.
Now, knowing my luck, it was probably really them, and they're like, well, I guess he doesn't like us. But yeah, I got hit pretty hard. So what do we got? Again, jackets, leggings, or pants, as we call them in my department. What else is there? Outerwear. Do you have anything else on your lists?
I have one other pair of pants on my list. After my very first 100-miler, I realized that I really wanted a pair of pants that I could throw on quickly over my shoes, like that had a zipper in the ankle, that if I'm cold during a 100-miler, when everything seems too hard, like taking off your shoes to put on a pair of leggings, I just wanted a pair that I could easily take off and on.
We call those stripper pants on the podcast, by the way.
I know they have those ones with like the buttons on the side.
Those
Adidas.
You could like rip them off, but yeah, I really haven't found that perfect one. I feel like, you guys bring it up on the podcast, the Path Projects, Kill 'em pants.
Oh.
And I really kind of wish they had that somehow in a women's version. And I did try one year. I thought, well, maybe I'll just get it and like size down or something, and they were sold out, and I had waited too close until before my 100 miler. So I had to get a different one. I ended up getting the Craft Pro Hydro running pant, and it's thicker. It's really would be a different pant than like the Killam. But they have come in handy. It has a zipper all the way from the ankle, like clear up to the knee.
Wow.
So I can easily get them on and off. I really love them. Again, like before a race, if it's super cold in the morning, because I can keep myself warm. And then right before it's time to go, I can easily take them off. Or post race, I can throw them on too. So
well, the Killam pants are back in stock, and last I looked, Path Projects has a huge sale going on, even on some of their new stuff. And they just released, and I may have just already, it's on the way. It's like a fleece top. Like it reminds me of like a Patagonia R1 from Path. So I'm super psyched because I love everything Path pretty much. So
yeah.
In fact, I've got their joggers on, or pants, I like to call them, on right now. So. All right. I love it.
To get those
stripper pants. We need some running stripper pants. And if anybody listens to the Men podcast, I'm looking for puffy pants or puffy 3/4. So, I'm still looking for those.
Wait,
my wife giggles.
You're looking for puffy 3/4 pants?
Yes.
Okay.
After a run in the
have
winter.
to prepare for this.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if I find them, I'm going to just be showing them calves off like crazy.
Okay.
So, all right. So what do you got, Sarah, on your outerwear? We did jackets. What do you into some leg in action? What else you got?
Are we talking about accessories yet? Should I go there?
Well, I mean, outerwear, accessories, miscellaneous are near the bottom of our schedule.
I can wait for that. Yeah.
All right. So we done with outerwear?
I think so.
All right. Sarah starts this one off.
Okay.
It's her turn. We're going run shirts. The women's run shirts. What you wear? What you got?
So I'm going to start with the sleeveless and progress to the ones with sleeves.
Okay. I like it.
Okay.
So you're dressing up.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
So for the warmer months, I am a huge fan of cutting the sleeves off of my favorite cotton tees. It's the way to go.
You heard it here, folks. It's the way to go.
No matter what you're wearing. And these keep you cool. I actually did a Grand Canyon run in my cotton shirt, and I stayed cool the whole time. So, and it's always fun, I think, to see your favorite brands or your favorite local organizations. When you see people out in the trails, it's kind of a common ground. It's a conversation starter sometimes. But if I'm going to buy a tank, there's sorry, I'm looking at my notes. I'm looking down. The Run Rabbit Steady Slate tank. I just started wearing that one this year. I love it. It's about $50. They've only got a couple of colors. I do wish there were more, but it's one of my go-tos. And then my other favorite go-to tank is a Path Projects tank. It's just the men's muscle tank. I cut off the bottom because it was a little long for me, but
the kind of perforated one. That's the
it kind of reminds me of like the basketball jerseys from back in the day, but it doesn't feel like that.
Yeah.
And those are about $42.
Yeah, that's the Andes tank, is that's the one, and that's huge on sale right now.
Yeah,
I have shirts out,
and I like them too because they're neutral colors. I'm more of a neutral color person, so that goes well with what I like. For long sleeves, Wassail has really nice different weights of just long sleeve shirts, and they've got the watch hole, which I love that watch hole because my hands get so cold, so it's nice to pull your shirt sleeves down over your fingers.
So I have a question on the watch hole.
Yeah.
Someone talked to me about this.
Yeah.
What arm do you wear your watches on?
I know where you're going with this. So their armhole is on both sleeves.
Did you notice how she didn't even answer my question?
You didn't.
Do you wear them on your right or your left?
Left.
What you wear your left?
Yeah.
So I know some people that wear right, and there's some brands that put this hole on the left. I'm like, it doesn't work for me.
Ooh.
I'm like, actually, you need to just switch. It's way easier to put the watch on the other end than cut a new hole in your shirt.
Yeah,
it's true.
But so Wassail has it on both.
Yeah.
Okay. Does your wrist get cold on the other side with the hole there?
It never has before.
Oh,
Okay.
It stays pretty warm.
And Wassail, for those that are new like me, that's the OISELLE brand.
It's a ladies apparel brand.
Yeah.
So they're
So it's
represented on theirs.
So it doesn't start with a W, and it's not wassail like the Christmas drink. It's Wassail with an O.
Sounds very fancy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Our language struggles a bit.
And then my one of my other favorites is just a Solomon. It's a lightweight, just one of their thin, lightweight long sleeves. It's really good.
Like tech material?
Yeah, it is a tech material. It's really thin, and it's just nice when the mornings start to get a little cooler. You don't want a jacket, but you don't want your tank top. I'm leaving short sleeves out of here. I don't ever wear short sleeve shirts. It's either tank top or long sleeve for me. And then
sleeveless.
Or sleeveless, yeah. Sleeveless or long sleeves.
Yeah.
Okay. And then anything I've recently found, anything merino wool for the thicker long sleeve or the really cold mornings, I'll usually wear that under my jacket. And even when it's in like the low 20s for me, that merino wool and a lightweight jacket, that's all I need. It keeps me warm the whole time. So I have an Arc'teryx one. I've got an Icebreakers quarter zip. But yeah, merino wool.
Does that make you ever itch?
They're so soft. No.
Because I've tried it and I guess it's itchy.
Even the soft ones?
I think so. Well, I mean, once you spend a lot of money on a shirt that makes you itch, you usually don't try them again. That's the problem. Because I don't dare drop the money if I'm just going to itch.
Yeah, I've never been itchy.
Maybe it's on my back hair.
Maybe.
I don't know. It doesn't mesh well together. Like oil and water.
Yeah, and that's what I got.
That's your shirts?
My shirts.
All right, let's skip it on over to Heidi. What you got on your shirts?
Okay, I'll do the same order. Start with the tanks, and I'm also similar. It's either it's tank top weather or it's long sleeve. There's no in between. I do have a couple short sleeve shirts that I will wear, but they're just like ones that I've got from races or something, and so I'll wear them occasionally, but I don't really buy short sleeves.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Just ask TrailManners from TrailManners. Do you wear race shirts to only races you've finished?
Yes, absolutely.
What if, and I'm not saying anybody has, but if you DNF or you don't run the race, do you wear the race shirts?
No.
Okay.
I can't.
What if it's a pacer gift?
Ooh, I don't know. I feel like if you're that's tricky.
I'm just asking because that gets asked a lot.
know.
People ask that a lot. It's like,
Yeah.
I ran this race, but I DNF, so I never wear the shirt.
Yeah.
Or it's like you see someone in a race shirt and like, oh, you ran that? No, my buddy did. So I'm like, well, so I'm just in my mind, I'm like, it's a shirt. I get it. It's not like you got their buckle for 100, but I'm curious your thoughts.
Yeah. I think that's my thoughts. If you're going to wear the shirt for that race, you should have ran it. Yeah.
Because I've given and received pacer gifts of shirts. And so I'm just curious, like, do you wear them if you've paced?
I don't know.
Huh. What about you, Sarah?
I would not wear the shirt if I didn't finish or run the race, but I like to give pacer gifts, and I have given not the race shirt, but
just
a
the
shirt from that race to people that have helped.
Because I DNF Bighorn, and I never wore their gear. Yeah. I'm like, I just didn't feel.
I've never worn my bear.
I have the Bighorn shirt just to remind me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, I see you. And I point at my eyes. I see you. But yeah.
I had to get rid of mine. I couldn't even look at it.
Which one?
The bear.
Oh, the bear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, see, and that's one of the short sleeves that I will wear. But yeah.
Okay.
You got to get redemption there.
I interrupted you. That's a really good question.
That's a good question.
Listeners are writing notes on that one right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So for tanks, I don't know. I don't have one that I always stick with as far as tanks. It's kind of more what fits well. And it seems like brands are often changing their styles. And so there isn't one that I have always used my whole running career. But this year, there have been a couple that I really liked. I have the Saucony stopwatch singlet. It's like a racer back, which I know not all ladies love with their packs. I've never had a problem with it, like chafing or anything with a racer back. But I love the fabric for this one. It's pretty lightweight. It is that techie material, but fairly thin and super soft and comfy.
Sarah, do you like racerbacks?
I love them. I feel like Heidi and I could share a closet.
We probably could.
Yeah.
I love racerbacks. I only wear them at the farmer's market, though.
True story.
Yeah.
True story.
Yeah.
And so the other tank I have on here it's also a rabbit tank. I put the switchback tank and I have the same problem that they only have it in 2 colors. I wish it came in a couple more. The fabric I really like. It's different than other tanks that I've had. Pretty lightweight. And it was my go-to tank this summer for any kind of hot run, hot race. I feel like it dried out really easy and didn't like stretch out when it got really wet either. It held its shape, and it has a little higher neckline, which I also like because sometimes I do chafe on the front where my pack is. It kind of rubs up high on my neck. And that tank has a little higher neckline, and so it prevented some chafing up there, which was nice. And then long sleeves, I have the Brooks Luxe long sleeve. Say that 10 times fast. It's
Lulu leggings.
yes. It's not like the normal tech material. It feels almost more like a t-shirt, but pretty thin. And I like that in the winter. Sometimes the tech materials feel a little cooler on your skin, I feel like during the winter. And this having the t-shirt fabric, I feel like keeps me nice and cozy warm, but it's also thin. And so you're not going to get too hot and it is breathable. So I really like that one. And I have a pretty short torso. And so tops, like you were saying, Sarah, that you have cut the bottoms off of a few of your shirts. And that's kind of how I feel with some of the tanks. They have to be a little bit shorter in the waist. And this tank is it's not a crop, but it's pretty short waisted. And I really like that.
So you just got back from running the New York Marathon.
I did.
Just a few weeks ago.
Yes.
Do you dress in the same clothes? You know what I mean? Like some of this stuff here, did you wear in your road race?
Yeah. So
Okay.
actually that Saucony stopwatch singlet is what
Okay.
I wore for the New York Marathon. And it was great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I got a bright orange color because there was like 55,000 runners. And so that my family could pick me out. Then I'm normally like pretty
You're the
neutral
only
colors
person
as
in
well.
one
But
shirt
during
out of
that,
55,000 people.
yeah.
That's amazing. I know when we were talking at the TrailManners Invitational and you mentioned how many people, I'm like, I don't want to see that many people in 2025.
Yeah, it's a lot.
That's a lot of people.
It's a lot.
Think about that compared to like, I don't know, a small, like 100.
Oh yeah, there's a
ultra.
couple hundred people. Yeah.
Wow.
It's very different.
55,000.
Yeah. It's a different feel,
Whew.
but it's fun in a different way.
That's another show. But yeah, so you wear the same stuff.
Yeah, I
essentially.
do. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm. Yep. And then I have one more top on here, and it's the Brooks Notch thermal long sleeve. I do think it's nice to have a little thicker layer. And you can wear it on those really cold days and maybe throw a jacket over it too. But just to have the little thicker for those really, really cold days. And this one, same thing, is a little shorter in the waist. It also has a watch window.
Watch window.
Watch hole. What?
I like window.
Well,
Watch
window. I've seen some, like I had a jacket once that had like a window and it had like, it was plastic over it.
Okay.
So that would be like to me, but like a watch hole.
That's true.
There's got to be a better name for a watch window, watch hole, watch
I
something.
like watch window better than watch hole.
Watch hole sounds like you're like mad at somebody.
Yeah.
It's a watch hole.
Yeah, he's such a watch hole.
Ooh, that's a new one. We're gonna hashtag that.
But yeah, I think, and this one also I love because on the neck it has almost like a mock turtleneck, and when it's really, really cold outside, sometimes that top part of my neck can feel the cool air coming in. And so to have that come up just a little bit, it's not a full turtleneck where you're feeling a little bit suffocated, but it's just enough to give you that extra coverage and keep you warm. So I like that.
Dickies are really good for that too.
Yeah.
Because they're easy to get on and off and they're just, it doesn't cover a lot of your torso.
Yeah.
So that's a pro tip. Use a Dickie. Is that your shirts?
Those are my short shirts. Yep.
Okay. Now we're going to move on to shorts. Okay. So in the shorts department, obviously it's a little different than the men in some aspects, but when we talk shorts, without putting two on the spot, if there's like a liner situation that people need to know about, if they have one, don't have one, make sure you bring that in there too. That just makes shorts a little different too. Does that work? I didn't want to embarrass anybody.
No.
Good. All right, let's go. Shorts.
All right. Well, excuse me. I have the hardest time finding shorts. Like it's like shopping for jeans for me. It's terrible and I hate it. So I've actually found 2 pair and I hope that they never quit making them. One is the Viore Clementine.
Okay.
They're kind of they're not baggy, but they're baggier than some of the more fitted ones like the Lulu shorts, which don't work for me. Those ones are about $58 and you can find them on sale often at REI. The other one I just discovered this past year, and they're the Rabbit Summit Chasers.
Oh yeah. So what are do you know the inseam lengths on either one of these? Are they like 2.5? Because I know women's shorts are different.
You can get, like, I know on the Clementines, they come in 4 or 2.5. I do the 2.5. My legs are too short to wear long shorts. It's not flattering. And I also buy that same inseam with the Rabbit shorts, but I do think they have longer options.
And these have mesh liners in them of some sort.
They have, it's not really, I mean, it's a liner. Yeah. Okay. So probably I wouldn't call it mesh, but it's a liner. Okay. I don't wear anything other than that with my shorts. I'm not going to double that up. So less is more.
So if you don't wear shorts without liners, so they're liner shorts.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
But our liners are different than your liners typically.
Sure, absolutely.
They don't like go down to my knees. So
Well, the guys' liners didn't start that way. That's changed. It used to be just a little
underwear.
Yeah, little super tight things that hurt, but you just didn't know any better. And then switching over to an actual liner that they have different lengths too, depending. And I have short legs, so my liners are longer than most. But it's just it's a question.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So yeah, those are the 2 shorts. I have multiple pair of each one, and like I said, I hope they never quit making them.
Okay.
It's hard.
All right, over to you, Heidi. Shorts.
Okay, so we differ a little bit. I do like the Lulu shorts. I have used those for a long time. I like the Speed Up shorts. They have a little zip pocket in the back. They do have a liner. They come in different lengths. I usually do the 2.5. They also come in a 4, and they also come in a high rise and a low rise. And I've done both, and I don't know, just kind of depends on what I want to wear that day.
If you're feeling spicy or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. You got your stripper pants on. So the high rise, that's like up to the belly button area. Is that how you do it? And the low rise would be under it? Or how does that work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because guys, I don't know if we have a high and low rise.
I don't think you do.
Probably
see a lot of
Yours are
guys-
probably all mid-rise.
I think they're all just normal. And then
yeah.
if you just want to look gangsta, you just go low rise,
Mhm.
right? And put them down under your liners,
Mhm.
under your butt cheeks. But we don't do that either.
No.
You just trip and fall.
And then I do have one pair of shorts that I've liked in the tighter fitting, like spandexy kind of shorts. I was nervous to try these at first, but I've actually really enjoyed them, and they've been great. So the shorts I have are made by Senita. It's another women's only company, like by women for women.
Can you spell that?
Senita. Yeah, it's Senita.
See, I've never heard of this one. So this is good. Senita.
Is this the one are they out of Europe?
I don't know where they're from.
What is the one that Debbie talked about
Satisfy-
last year that had the incredible marketing?
Oh, I can't remember.
Oh, this isn't them.
Oh,
That was a year
this
ago.
is a different one.
I can't remember.
Okay.
that far back, sorry. So Senita.
Senita.
Yes.
You got that.
I'm not going to wear them. I'm out.
You're out. Okay. Well, and they have a few different styles, but their tight fitting short that I like is called the Baseline. And they have a few different lengths in this one. They have a 3.5, a 5, and a 7. In this short, I like to do the 5. It's long enough that I feel like it stays in place when you're running. I feel like girls have the opposite problem. Leggings, they're always trying to ride down, and then like tight shorts are always trying to ride up.
Guys, shorts ride up a lot too.
But it's a problem, and you want them to stay put. I feel like these spandex shorts actually pretty much stay put. They'll ride up a little bit, but really for what they are, I feel like they stay in place really well. They have pockets on both sides of the short, and with the 5-inch, the pocket's big enough you can like slide your phone in there.
Wow.
I wore these also for the New York Marathon because it was easy to slip my nutrition in there and have it easy
Slice of
and
pizza.
handy because I'm not wearing my pack during a road marathon.
Dang it, that'd be awesome. Because you're fast. It'd be just funny to see someone fast with a pack on, just for fun. What's in your pack? Nothing.
Nothing.
Just at least
I'm
wearing a pack.
Yeah. But yeah, so they're a great short. Just it comes with a little bit of storage, and I actually really have liked wearing those. So, and they're on sale right now. Senita is actually having a good sale. Normally they're $34. They're on sale right now for $27. So it's a great price. If you're nervous to try that kind of a tight fitting short, it's a great option to just try it without, spending $100 on a pair of shorts that you might hate. So
That's a great, you got some good price points.
Yeah.
Nice.
I really don't like to spend a ton of money most of the time. So
I'm always looking at Groupon. They never have anything. Just like painting classes, which I've done those. So that covers shorts.
I have a couple more on here, if that's okay.
Yeah, for sure.
These are another like sneaky good short for a really great price. And I was hesitant. Someone gifted me a pair of these.
Sure.
They are actually Dick's Sporting Goods brand. And I was like, okay, these are going to
DSP.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know about these, but I gave them a try and I actually really love them. And they come in a bunch of different colors. They are like that normal, like looser fitting short, just the elastic waistband. They do have a drawstring, no pockets. but they come in all different colors. You can get them right now for like $15.
Wow.
I'll chime in on that. I've actually had some of those as well. And there's different styles too.
Yes.
There's multiple styles and they work really well.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
Another great budget tip on something
Budget
that could
tip.
work.
Yeah.
So question for you both. You mentioned on the DSPs. Let's call them DSPs. It sounds cool. No pockets.
No pockets.
These other shorts that you both wear, I'm assuming, have some pockets. Do you have a preference? Do you like pockets, not pockets? Because I know, like for me, I take my phone with me and I put it in like my zipper back pocket. But I know like maybe some shorts may not have that big a pocket. So is a pocket important, not important when you're purchasing shorts?
It's not a deal breaker for me. The Vuori ones I mentioned only have a teeny little pocket in the front that you can put your key in. The Rabbit ones actually have pockets all the way around the waist and a little zipper pocket.
Okay.
My phone will fit in them.
Okay.
I don't trust it enough yet to try running with my phone in there because I'd be really frustrated if I was out and my pants are falling down. So
gotcha.
I just haven't tried it yet.
Okay.
So I have tried some of them that will fit my phone, like in the Lulu speed up shorts. If you get the high rise, then the pocket's a little bigger in the back, the zip pocket, just because you have that thicker waistband. And I can fit my phone in the back. And I've tried it, and I think it moves around a little bit too much back there. I end up kind of getting chafed or even sometimes bruised, like on my lower back. And I just think they're not quite tight enough to really hold it in place. I can like the Sanita shorts. I do like running with my phone in the side pocket. I can do that in the side pocket, usually the waist pocket of shorts, or even like some of the leggings. They have a pocket in the back that you can put your phone in also. And I've tried that, and same thing. It just doesn't ride super well. So I used to, when I was hunting for the perfect pair of shorts, look for some with some storage, but I don't know that I actually love having a lot of pockets, or that I really will use them most of the time. So
I just had a flashback epiphany because we talked about when Sarah mentioned as a key pocket. When I was younger, so we're talking like 1800s, there's a place I would go swimming, and you had to rent a locker to put your stuff in to go swimming, and it had a key that you'd get, and it had a safety pin type thing on it, the key, so you could just pin it to your swim shorts and not lose it. I think I might go back to that for my running. I never thought of that.
I used to do that years ago before we had all the fancy things, or before I bought the fancy things.
I think I want to go back. It was the Roy Complex.
I was like, I have memories of this exact situation.
Yeah, and
I've
I'm
been
like,
to the Roy Complex.
Why haven't I found a sturdy enough pin to do that with my? Because I always, even with my key in my pocket, I still sometimes, like on a 10 mile, I've checked 7 times. Did I drop my key? Well, no, you didn't zip your pocket, dummy.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to market that, folks. So we'll get back to that. It'll be on my Christmas list later.
Yeah.
Shorts, we good?
Yes.
All right. We're moving on now to lady specific wear. And this is a category that we have because of women have different needs for running, top stuff and other. Is there any, what do you have for that?
I mean, I just have sports bras. I can't think of any other.
Well, that's what I'm kind of leaning towards. That's kind of the big piece, but I mean, like, I don't need one yet.
Yeah. So I think everybody probably has a really different preference. It's a very personal thing.
Well, that's what I hear a lot. Like I hear when women talk, like I've heard you have discussions, and we've had people on the show before where that has been a topic, because not just size, but fit, and, how much material is it, like super, super tight? Is it like doubling up? Is it, you know what I mean? Yeah.
So I think for me anyway, that's the problem. Like the ones that I like aren't the super cute ones with the cute straps in the back, but Lulu has really good ones. I prefer theirs. High impact, as little material as possible, whatever I can get in that combination.
So you're gonna have to help me out. High impact.
The more you bounce, that's more impact.
Okay. So
like yoga is very low impact.
Oh, gotcha.
Moving
a
lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Okay. Did I explain that well?
Yes.
Okay.
So high impact means you're doing a sport that there's a lot of movement and jostling.
Yeah. And, every woman is shaped very different.
Sure.
So.
Okay. So low impact is just
a walk.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I needed. Just to clarify.
So I don't know. Lulu for me.
Okay.
I would love to find that perfect one. I used to have one years ago.
What is a perfect one then?
One that doesn't chafe, that stays in place the whole time, that's not uncomfortable, doesn't feel too tight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's tricky, and it is totally personal preference. For me, I do like to always get a high impact. It's going to be more tight, more compressive. But I do like that when I'm running, but it's not something I could be comfortable wearing all day.
Yeah.
If I'm not out running. And then the other tricky thing with sports bras, when they're that tight and compressive, they're kind of hard to get on and off.
Oh my gosh.
So one of my favorites is it used to be made by Moving Comfort. They were always my favorite sports bras. They got bought out by Brooks a few years ago. So now I've gone to the Brooks, and they don't make the exact one that I have, but they are really great quality. So I've gotten tons of use out of them. But the one that's the most similar to the ones that I love, it's called the Brooks Convertible 2.0. And so this one's cool. It has a clasp in the back, so it's easier to get it on and off, but it's still super supportive. And then the reason why it's convertible is because the straps can either just go straight back, or they have a little clasp on them, and you can like turn it into a racerback. So if you are wearing a racerback tank, you can do the little clasp, and then your sports bra is in.
So convertible means something totally different in my world. So
yeah, that doesn't mean top off.
That's what I meant. I'm like, so how does it work then?
Yeah,
if
that's
what?
different.
There's not a lot of fabric to remove. Okay, that makes sense.
That's the
how you wear the straps.
Yeah, you can convert the straps.
Convert the straps.
Mhm.
I wouldn't call it convertible. I'd call it like a transformer or something.
Okay.
Something that can change but not like come off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I haven't tried this specific one, so I don't know if the clasp would cause any kind of chafing or anything back there that could pop up, but I haven't personally tried it. But
okay.
The other sport bra that I have on here, and I love that women get to have this one thing. I think this is where we have a one up on guys, because instead of we don't have pockets in our shorts typically. But we get to wear sports bras, and you can stick all kinds of things in there. Like you were talking about your key earlier. Usually I'll stick it in the little side of my sports bra. It holds it tight in there. I know it's not going anywhere. It doesn't bother me. I used to do road races before I had pockets on my shorts. I could stick a few gels in there. It's great. So
well, guys
just
can
saying.
still wear them. I mean,
you could still wear it.
Instead of wearing a waist belt, I could wear like a upper belt.
Yeah.
Because Jill and I talked waist belts we don't like, but if I did
chest belt,
I'm going to call it a chest belt. There we go. Chest belt, men's chest belts.
Yep.
Who's on it? Path Projects. You first. Rabbit. Who's up?
Got all
chest
kinds of
belts.
Yeah.
I like that.
But they are coming out now with sports bras that actually have pockets in them.
It's a chest belt,
which is cool.
Dang it.
Someone's
already got that. I just came up with it.
So same company as my shorts, the Sunita, and they have a bra. It's called the Luxe Sarah with an H.
Feel like I need to try those.
Just saying, it's Sarah with an H.
Man.
And it's just pull over regular sports bra, but it has a big pocket in the racer back part of it, and you can stick your whole phone in there.
Oh geez.
And I have ran with it, and my phone doesn't bother me a bit back there. It feels great, and you can still access it, and really cool.
This is great news.
Yeah.
Like something new. Sarah's sitting here. It's like, oh, I'll try that one. There's probably other listeners out there kind of in the same mode with lots of this. So this is why we do this show.
Well, I'm loving that actually, because my biggest thing is I wear a waist belt.
Mm-hmm.
Because of my phone.
Same.
Yep.
Only because of my phone.
Yep.
So
now you got a chest belt.
Now I can,
breast belt, chest belt. It could be different.
Yeah.
For each,
it is two different.
We have different
things,
needs.
Sure.
Like my chest belt has different needs than yours.
Yeah.
I need
more.
I could have a hoagie sandwich in the front of mine.
Well, that's
I have
true.
a little snack on the trail.
Mm-hmm.
That makes me happy. We've been another podcast. We're talking about how to carry pizza.
See? And if it's in your chest belt, it would keep it nice and your pizza would be
Keeps
nice
it warm.
and warm.
And it's like having the bottle in the front. You just reach down and just nibble on there. You just pop the top off, and
I feel like you're onto something. Shark Tank idea.
It's like pop the top up like that.
Yeah.
I like that chest belt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if no one steals it from the podcast, I might be Shark Tanking it.
Okay.
All right.
I got a few high roller friends that I think will push that through.
Nice.
Just kidding. We good with the women's stuff, or do we have more?
So I was trying to come up with something more women specific than just sports bras. So, and you had mentioned earlier, maybe some things you missed, sunscreen.
Yes.
So for ladies, I don't know, you want to protect your face
Men, you do too.
Men, you do too. Everyone, protect your skin.
Yes.
But maybe, I don't know, you're like, want just a little more, you're not gonna like put on your makeup and everything to go on a trail run, but maybe you want a little something. They make tinted sunscreen, so you could put on some tinted sunscreen on your face. Maybe it helps you feel a little more confident if you see some of your friends out on the trail. Just kind of a cool little thing for the ladies to wear. So
I would do that on
My
my
go-to,
legs.
and I use it every day actually, is the Neutrogena tinted
oh, see,
sunscreen. Yep.
there you go.
And it does. It just makes you feel just
Yeah,
a little better.
you just feel good.
I like that.
Yeah.
Good.
And then this is not really necessarily women specific either, but I put shower wipes and body spray, just to keep those in your car all the time. Sometimes you go on a run and then you got to hurry and run off to the next thing. If you're a busy
Person. Yeah.
person in general, it's just nice to have.
Amen to that, man.
Yeah.
I always have my stuff.
Absolutely. And then this is a wearable like on your wrist. It's called Run Angel. And this
Run
is
Angel.
Run Angel.
Okay.
So this is maybe for someone who is a little bit nervous about going out and running by themselves, and feeling nervous. And I think that's a fairly common issue with ladies on the trail, just wanting to make sure they feel safe and secure. So this is, it kind of looks like a watch. You just can put it on your wrist. It has, you can activate it. You just push like one button on it and it sounds a alarm that is really, really, really loud.
Huh.
So the idea is, you know, if you had somebody strange
I
that's
think I've
like
heard this before.
running
Is
by
that good?
you, or, you know, somebody's making you feel uncomfortable, you can push the alarm. It's really loud and then it's going to draw a lot of attention. So probably that person's going to go away and leave you alone, or it probably could work for an animal. Maybe could scare them away. It's so loud. And then at the same time, when you push that button, it has an app that you link it to also. And so it will send your GPS coordinates and a little message
Wow.
to like 3 different people that you've set up. And it'll say, hey, Sarah's in trouble. Here's her location. And so just kind of a little bit of like
That's really cool.
safety, peace of mind.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah. So
I'm thinking of your daughter,
Yeah.
Aspen. She just has recently started hiking by herself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She would set it off on accident and make it in the house,
might.
though.
you
So
can
we-
turn it off. Like if you accidentally push the button, you can easily turn it off again. But
Have you-
it is really loud from
Run
what I've heard.
Angel.
I don't have one.
Okay. Well, it's good to. I'm going to look into that, though.
Yeah.
That one's a really good one. That'd be a good gift, like Sarah
Yeah.
mentioned, for someone in your life, too. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
I love it. That's why we do the podcast. Love it. All right. Next one. My favorite. Can't wait to hear what we got. Footwear. We're talking shoes.
Shoes while running, or
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean,
before and after and during.
so this is a running shoe section
Okay.
that later on we're going to get like post-run
Okay.
stuff.
Just clarify.
Yep. Nope, for sure. Run shoes, footwear. I'm excited. I love this. Is one of my favorite cat jackets, and run shoes are my favorite. Miscellaneous is pretty cool because it's like a la carte,
Mhm.
anything you want. But what do we got? Shoes. Let's start with Sarah's nodding over to Heidi, so we'll start with Heidi.
Okay. So number 1 on my footwear is the Hoka Speed Goat 6.
Okay.
I did not love the 5s, but
Nobody did.
no one
And
did.
if they say they did, they really didn't. They
They
just
didn't.
wanted to say they did because they bought them.
Yeah. The 4s are still number 1, and I'm
No,
kind
the
of sad
4s are
because you
4. Oh, the best.
the best
All right.
of the Speed Goat
Series.
series, I
Okay.
believe. But the 6s are definitely better than the 5s for me. I do have a couple issues with them. They're not as good as the 4s, but I still like them. I do okay with the regular in the Speed Goat 6s, but I've heard that a lot of people feel like they're a lot more narrow. My husband Seth runs in them also. He got a pair of the regulars, which he usually wears in the Speed Goat, but they were too narrow. They were causing blisters and issues on his feet. So he exchanged them for the wide, and the wide's been a lot better for him.
Oh, nice.
I do okay with a narrower shoe, and so I've been okay with the regulars and the 6s, but if you are someone that typically likes a little wider shoe, probably I would just go for the wide in these.
How's the outsole? Do the outsoles seem to hold up the miles? Because the 5s seem like they burned quick.
They burn through really quick.
Yeah.
So far these have held up pretty well for me.
Okay.
I've gotten a couple pair and they've held up well. I don't love the tongue on the 6s. It's pretty short. And so I feel like my laces are almost going to like
cut into your foot on
cut
top.
into my foot, and the tongue isn't like protecting that part of my foot. So I have to get that tied just right when I put on the 6s. But I've gotten used to it. It's okay. But yeah, I love the Speed Goats. I feel like my foot is held in there well. I like the Vibram sole. I feel pretty secure and confident running like a technical downhill in those.
And those are what, a 6 mil drop?
They are I did write it down. I think they're a 5.
5, okay.
Yeah, 5 mil drop. I don't think the 6s are quite as cushy as some of them, but it still is like a high cushion shoe. Heel is 37, forefoot's 32.
Okay.
So
pretty standard then.
Yeah. I like those. And then my new favorite shoe, because during the whole when 5s were out, I didn't know what to run in, because I was a Speed Goat girl and I didn't know what to run in, and so we were looking for other things. I had tried a pair of the Nike Zagamas, the first version.
Okay.
They were okay. I didn't love them. The outsole on those kind of fell apart super quick, but they were cushy and comfy, but I didn't feel quite as secure in those. They have now come out with the 2s.
Yep.
And I'm a big fan of the 2s.
You like those?
I like them. They are like my comfort shoe. They are so cushy and soft, and I really like them. And they have now come out with the Vibram on the outsole, so I feel a lot more secure, because I felt like I was really slippery and slidey in the ones, but the 2s have been great. They're a 4 mil drop. Heel's 39, forefoot's 35. So it's a really
good stack.
Cushy that has that like Zoom X foam. And
so if you had to run 100, which one would you take right now?
So I did the Bear.
Yep.
And I did run in my Speed Goats.
Okay.
Still.
Even though the Zagamas are cushy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I still feel, and I had just recently gotten the 2s. I hadn't quite broken them in. I don't know if everyone else has this problem, but until I really break a shoe in, one of my feet will kind of go numb a little bit for the first few runs. And I didn't have it quite dialed in yet on the Zagamas, so I didn't feel confident doing a whole 100 miler in those.
Okay, good.
But maybe if I would have broken him in better, maybe. But I did have him like
just in case.
For standby.
What else?
My other shoe is the Saucony Peregrine.
Okay, lot lower profile shoe.
A lower profile. They're a little more narrow shoe. These I still really love to just take out on a shorter run, or if it's a more technical terrain where I just want to feel a little more nimble. And they're a great price point is also why I love the Peregrines. You can still buy them like a couple versions ago. And so instead of normally them being like $140, you can get them for like $70.
Because you're talking Speed Goats are what, 160?
Yep, 155.
Okay.
The Zagamas are 180.
Yep.
Like that.
Nike always has sales, so that's
they
one thing. So it helps a little bit.
It does,
but they always seem to have sales going on.
Yeah, and I did get my Zagamas for much lower than 180, which was great. But the Peregrines, I can always find those for like $70.
Nice.
And I will say, so I started wearing the Peregrines when they were really not very cushy at all, probably around like a Peregrine 11, I want to say. I'm now currently in the 13s, and the 13s feel just a little more cushy than the 11s. I do think they changed them just a little bit. I think they're now on the 14s. I haven't tried a 14 yet. So I'm not sure if they're going to stick with kind of the little more cushion. But I ran 100 in the Peregrines when it was the whole Speed Goat 5
debacle.
Yes. And I wasn't sure that I could actually do a longer race in them. I first did like 100K and they held up, and my feet were more sore, I would say, after doing those longer distances in them, but I was still able to do it. But I'm grateful to have some cushier options now for those longer distances. Good. So, yeah.
Over to you, Sarah. What you got?
Okay, well, I have been wearing the Hoka Mafades for a couple of years now.
The Speed 4s.
The Speed 4s, and those ones are about 185. I don't like to test things out too often because I feel like if you mess with your feet, you can have a lot of long-term effects with that. However, I have recently, I took a demo pair of the normal Tomir 2.0s out, and I really enjoyed those. Okay. I was really uncertain when I first put them on, like, the uppers are really stiff feeling initially, but it actually reminded me a lot of the Mafades, the way they moved, and the grip on the soles. And so I will probably be purchasing some of those in the near future.
Well, I'm hoping to as well. That was on my list of wants to tries for sure.
And I'm just going to say the fact that you can get an all black pair is very appealing to me.
Murdered out.
Yes, that. Even if they weren't black, all black. I really did enjoy. I just did like a 10, 11 miler, and they were really great.
Okay.
And then I've only ran on them twice, but the Hoka Tecton 2s, I like those. And I'm not the person I struggle with spending over $200 on a pair of shoes. So right now, Hoka has those on sale for $175. They're normally $225.
Joel last week
Yeah.
mentioned these, and he bought another pair just because they were on sale.
Yeah, I will probably be doing
the Tecton 3s are out with the little gator on them, and had great reviews. But I have a pair of Tecton 2s. We have the same color now, which is pretty rare. We can't wear them on the same day.
Cute.
That's why we don't. It's because Heidi's like, oh, we should have worn to the beer mile.
Well, darn.
She doesn't match on anything.
If we come out with a similar color scheme, I'm like, one of us has to change.
One day, literally, I shaved my beard so she grew one. Because that way we wouldn't match. That's how it worked. But no. So yeah, the Tecton 2s, Joel really liked those.
Yeah, I have enjoyed those so far. I don't want to wear them out because they are more expensive. So I've got to be more selective when I wear them.
You've only worn them for a while, not very long, a couple weeks.
Oh, the Tectons, I've only been on 2 runs on them.
So how do you feel between those and the Mafate Speed 4?
Okay, so you're better at the shoe descriptions than I am. We all know this. I feel like they're faster.
Okay.
I felt faster.
That was just because of the color.
Probably not.
And because they're new shoes.
And because they're new shoes. It's true. They felt a little cushier.
Yeah,
so
well, because they have the carbon plate in them. So they do have that little, because Joel mentioned that as well.
Yeah. And so I'm like, is this the placebo effect? Is that why I feel so good? Or is that actually that carbon fiber or carbon plate? Carbon plate.
Fiber. You know what? A company should make a shoe called the Placebo. How cool would that be?
But yeah, I felt speedy that day.
Nice. Tecton 2s. So both Hokas and then the normals.
Correct.
Okay. Anything else?
For running shoes? Yeah. No, I'm not. That is it. I'm not.
Nothing you want to even try?
Else. Nope.
You're not super techie, so you haven't really looked into a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but right now I had a year of really bad foot pain, and I have gotten away from that, so I don't want to mess with that.
That's good. Hey,
yep.
I think that's key, right? You find something that works sometimes, especially injury related. You got to be really careful, right? So Hex Voodoo, stay away from me.
Yeah.
Nice. So that's our running shoes. We'll get to the other what you want to get to soon, right? That's the
comfy shoes.
The after run apparel sexiness. Hydration. So we're talking packs, handhelds, waist belts. We're not talking chest belts yet because that's not out there. Next year, hopefully on the podcast we'll have them. But like handheld packs, bottles, what you got? Hydration.
Me?
Cool. Okay, next topic.
Right.
Oh, here we go. We don't need them. Hydration. Who needs hydration?
I need hydration. Okay. So my go-to pack is the Solomon Advanced Skin, and I do like the women's specific in this pack. For me, I do have that like shorter torso, and I feel like the women's specific are a little bit shorter in the length, and then they also have the different bottles that are not as long, and so that fits me well. I really like those. I usually do like the 12 set just because I want to have the options with all the pockets, and if I want to stick something in there, I can. And then if I'm not totally filling it up, I don't feel like it's really that much extra bulk that it's affecting me. And so I have also done the 8, and I like that as well, and I can still pack the 8 pretty good if I need to. If you find
treasures on the trail, you can just take them with you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You never know what you find.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And then I do, like Sarah was saying, she wears a belt usually to carry her phone. So if I'm going out on like a shorter distance run where I'm really not going to need a ton of hydration, but I just want to have enough to carry my key or my phone or something, then I wear the Solomon Pulse Belt. Okay. You can fit a bottle in there, one of their soft flasks. I've tried it. I don't love how it's riding back there. And so normally if I'm taking any kind of fluid, I'm just going to wear a vest. But the Pulse Belt I love. And it's weird because I said like I can't do my phone in the back pocket of my pants or shorts, but I can wear that belt and it rides great in there. So I don't know what the difference is, but I've never had an issue with
chafing or
with
bruising.
chafing or bruising when my phone is in the pulse belt. So they do have like a higher waist now in the pulse belt. Also, I haven't tried that. I just have the regular one. But and then with the pack, I also use the Solomon quiver to store my poles in. I just recently got one of those this year.
Well, they're never in stock.
They aren't in stock. So if you see it in stock, get one.
Joel mentioned that on his show.
Yeah.
Sarah has one. I ended up getting one. I don't use poles, but I'm thinking as my aging gets,
stick like a hoagie or something.
I love the way you think.
Yeah.
I never thought of that. Yeah. Actually.
Easy access.
How many? A big old burrito.
Baguette.
A burrito.
Yeah. Burrito.
Baguette would be good, but it's only just bread. But if you could stick a burrito, go to Chipotle.
Yep.
I just think I'm aging, so I'm going to start using poles, not running, just in general, when I go Smith and grocery shopping. But it's hard to carry stuff and use poles, so maybe I'll wear a hydration vest to the groceries. No, I'm onto something here. Maybe I'll get a 12 to carry more groceries.
Yeah.
I like that quiver, though. It's pretty slick.
It's handy. And you can kind of rig it up a couple different ways, depending on what you like. You can do it kind of straight up and down on your back or more diagonal. Yeah. But pretty slick getting your poles in and out. I do like that. And I usually don't use handhelds, but I did reach out to somebody, and there have been a few instances where I feel like it would be nice to have a handheld where I really don't want to take a pack, but I don't like sticking a bottle in my pulse belt. And so this is the one that was recommended. It's the Nathan Quick Squeeze Plus Insulated. It comes in a 12 ounce or a 18 ounce. And both versions are on sale right now for either $24.50 or $28. It has a pocket with it, like you can stick a phone, key, gel, whatever. And they say it's pretty comfortable and easy to carry. And you really don't have to because of how the strap is on it, you really don't have to grip the handheld. You could, so you're
Ultra
not
Spire's got a really great handheld just like that.
Okay,
you don't can have open palm.
Yeah,
you can carry a pole with it without any issues. They have a really good one for handhelds too.
Cool.
All right, Sarah, what you got?
All right. Well, I too never run with a handheld, but I have been more interested this year for some reason. I don't know why, but I'm going to look into that and the Ultra Spire. I either run with my belt, the Ultra Spire Race Belt 2.0, or any one of my Solomon vests, depending on what my run is for that day. But I typically, like Heidi, go for the advanced skin, just the way it fits. It's lighter. The bottles ride, being a female, the bottles ride differently. And I love the
female
fabric
version.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I also do have the Sense Pros because this last race I did over the summer, I just wanted the bungee option. So I got the 8-liter one, which is larger than what I normally pack with me. But I wanted a different carrying option for what that race was requiring through the night and stuff. So I really did love it, except I'm really used to having pockets along the rib cage. So between the water in the front and your pack in the back, I've always had pockets on the side, and that one didn't have that. That would be the only thing I would change, but I'm a Solomon fan when it comes to the vest. I used to have a Nathan, and I did like that one, but since I've switched to the Solomon, I don't think I'll go back. And then, like Heidi, I also got the quiver this year. It's incredible. If you don't have one, get one. Yeah.
If they're not
it'll make you want to get poles if it's not sold out. And actually, interesting fun fact I realized. So they have the normal one, that everyone has right now, but then they have, I forget what they're calling it, but it's their Pro series, and it's a navy one. But apparently the opening is just slightly larger, and it's apparently easier to get your poles in and out of. I never had an issue with mine at all, but I think those ones are easier to find. So if you're in a pinch and you really need to get one,
get the Pro.
The Pro might be available.
So, and those that aren't familiar with it, because we do have a lot of people that don't use poles. The quiver is just a bag for your poles that attach to your vest, right? That's kind of what the quiver is. So the quiver essentially is a pole bag that fits to your vest. Keeps it a little bit easier to manage and keep them together.
Instead of having arrows and a bow and arrow, we have trekking poles.
Yeah.
So we're like the Robin Hoods with trekking poles.
Basically.
And it makes the shing when you pull them out.
Is that what it does?
It does. Does yours do that?
I didn't.
Mine does.
I haven't used mine. I don't use poles yet. I haven't gone to the grocery store. But I think one thing too, like with Sarah, she runs with Barrett all the time, her dog. So she's always taking extra water because she doesn't drink a lot of water. So too, I think, when you're talking about, because me and Joel talked about waist belts, but we don't usually wear those. But when there's runs that I don't want a vest, because I really don't like wearing a vest. If I can not wear one, I prefer not to. I love to feel free, I guess, is the best thing. But we were talking about waist belts because if I needed like 12 ounces, 16 ounces. But I think it's important to know, like you mentioned earlier with the jackets, to put over your vest or your race vest. But I think the same thing goes with water. Know what you need. So you got a dog with you. It's hot. You're not going to buy water sources. Please make sure you bring more.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you don't think you need a vest, I think that's the other key.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure your furry friend has one too.
Yeah.
Or if you're on your cat, that could be a furry friend.
I joke that I'm Barrett's watering fountain. I usually don't even need the water.
I've taken some of Barrett's water before.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm like, hey, so I didn't bring anything. Is Barrett going to finish all that? Or I just wait underneath his chin.
True stories.
Just give her the puppy dog eyes.
Yeah. Oh, that doesn't work. Trust me. All right. So that's our hydration. All right. So let's tackle the next one. This is always a big one, nutrition, because it can go everywhere. As Joel and I talked about even last week, so many brands. And if you go to the feed, you're going to get more confused than you already are. Mm-hmm. Joel mentioned, and it's public knowledge now, I have a spreadsheet with a ton of gels on it and what they have in them so I can compare them. And the same with electrolyte drinks, which has been very helpful for me and helped me a ton. But I'm always curious, nutrition, because this is something that is super personal based on the person, as far as how well your stomach is, what type of things you like, and also, kind of how much you want or need during your event. Some people need more than others based on pace, speed, all those things. So nutrition. We're going to start Sarah on this one.
That's a good idea, because you both probably put way more energy into this than I do. I'm pretty basic. My gels are Huma and Martin. Those are my go-to. I like the caffeine in the Martins and the chia seeds in the Huma. And neither one of them have the weird textures I take that back. There's a lot of people that don't like Martin. I think it's a hit or miss, right?
Textures.
So the gooey ones though, that are like really thick and sugary and syrupy and you have to have a drink. It's just like sticking to
like goo to me is like
rhymes
that.
With
very
goo.
Thick. Yeah.
It's not my favorite anyway. So those are my two gels. And then I like food. I really like the Honey Stinger nut and seed bars.
Those
I'll just
really
eat
good.
those for a lunch one day. Or Stroop waffles. Those are my treats on the trail, if you will. I really like Gnarly for my water, my electrolytes, or Tailwind. And then food. I like Uncrustables. If it's for a really long adventure, they're easy to take. And my sweet treat are Nerd Gummy Clusters. I never leave home without them, ever. And then after I do love just Premier Protein, just a quick protein drink. So, And that is it. I am very basic. I should probably learn from you guys.
Well, if it works,
it's not failed me.
And it's things like, could it be better?
Yeah.
Yes. Could it have a catastrophic fail? Yes. So it is tricky once you find that nutrition. Cause I think it also goes back to the thing, like everybody's done this where they've close to nailed their nutrition for an event. I'm like, I got it. Finally, they run their next race the same way and it doesn't work, right? Because of heat, because of exertion, because of all these variables, right? How you feel, all these things. So I think it's something that you really, if you're that serious about it, fine tuning it over the course of time. I don't think like it's a one and done. I had a great race. This is where I'm at. It's like, if that were the case, right? But I think that changes pretty drastically, and especially with everything that's out there now. And I'm sure Heidi's got some on her list that maybe we haven't heard, because Heidi's into the nutrition side. She's done triathlons, she's done road marathons, she's done 100-milers. So you've kind of lived in all the worlds. And I think all the worlds have their own brands.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That might be carryovers to another, but a little specific. So here we go, Heidi. Here we go.
I would agree with
Educate us.
Oh, that's a lot of pressure. I think I'm pretty simple actually when it comes to my nutrition.
We'll be the judge of that.
Okay, we'll see here. All right. So my electrolyte drink mix that is my go-to is Tailwind. It's the first one that I tried.
What's your favorite flavor?
Oh, okay. So I was always a diehard naked flavor.
That's what I use.
For Tailwind. That's what I started using. It's really great. It's not truly a naked flavor. It does have a flavor, but it's pretty mild.
I'm curious what flavor naked is.
It's really good.
Well, I mean,
it's been my go-to, so I'm curious.
Yeah. That has always been my favorite. And then they came out with the Colorado Cola. Have you tried that one?
No.
Okay. It's like a cola flavor. I feel like it tastes like the bottle caps kind of cola.
Ooh, those are
okay.
good.
Which
I'm
I actually,
intrigued.
I really like it. Maybe not for some people, but I like it. And that one has a little bit of caffeine in it. So that flavor I kind of save for the end of different races. You know, it has that a little bit of caffeine to give me that extra boost. And then it's just a little bit different flavor than I've been having all day long.
Yeah.
And so I like to change it up and do some cola at the end of it.
And I'm guessing
I'm gonna have to
naked
try that
just
one.
means non-flavored.
Yeah.
It has a slight flavor.
It does have a flavor. I would say it's like kind of a fruity, and then you have a little bit of the salty with
Yeah.
the tailwind, like because it's an electrolyte
Well,
drink.
It's kind of like they
that
say
makes
the
sense.
Martins have no flavor, right? But they have to me it tastes like a light marshmallow, like
Yeah.
a really lightly marshmallow flavor.
It still
Yeah.
has a little sweet.
They have
Yeah.
the gag
Mhm.
flavor to me.
Gag. But I have tried this year the watermelon flavor of the tailwind.
Oh, DeWalter.
And I really like that one too. It's definitely a stronger flavor than the naked, but I like it. It's really good. I tried it just out when I was pacing. They had it on course. And so I was like,
Oh,
I'm just
perfect.
going to try it. And I really liked it. So then I bought some.
That'd be a
So-
good, just the sound of it's like a good summertime,
Mhm.
like July race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
then
kind of
get naked
refreshing.
at the end.
And same thing, like I'll still like mix it up. I'll mostly have the naked flavor, but then I'll throw in a bottle here and there.
It's
just
truly
to
called
kind of-
naked?
It really is.
Okay. I mean, I believe it. It's just I don't think the word naked's been used so much
so
on this
much
podcast.
on the podcast. You're welcome.
Yeah. Our ratings just went up. Not in a good way.
Yeah. Oh man, sorry. But yeah, tailwind is good, and I like that. I like a few different flavors. It's fun to kind of mix up the flavor throughout like 100-miler or something instead of just only having the same thing the whole time. So and then I do use different gels. I really tried a bunch of new things this year. What I
You
was
say what kind of things?
just new gels.
Oh,
and
new.
things.
They said nude. I'm still stuck with
Oh,
naked.
we're still, yeah. Nope, we're moving on.
I've
Past
tried some nude things this year. I'm like, that's another podcast in
New.
itself. That's my OnlyFans channel.
I was like a diehard spring
Okay.
energy user for a long time, and this year I have wanted to branch out and try some other things, and so it's been kind of fun. Like you said, the feed, you can be completely overwhelmed, but it's been kind of fun.
It
You will
is.
just like browse, and it's cool because you don't have to buy a whole case of something. You can get a couple and try them out, and then if you hate it, now you know, and then the ones that you like, then you can start ordering more of those. So we've actually had fun experimenting with different nutrition stuff this year. So things that I've tried and that have stuck this year, I really liked the Precision gels and chews.
That's my fave.
Is it?
Oh, Precision, all their stuff. Their
It's so
drink
good.
is amazing. Their salt tablets, incredible. I mean,
Yeah.
I love Precision.
Yeah.
I switched primarily there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they do a really great job. Their gels, like they have, it's pretty compact gel. I would say
Mhm.
there's not a lot of volume to it, but you can get like 30 grams of carbs pretty easy, a decent amount of calories, and it is that like neutral kind of non-flavor.
That's
It's
what I call
easy to
I don't call it naked. I call it unflavored.
Non-flavored, yeah.
If I'm running and say naked, I just giggle. So
which is fun. It's good to be smiling while you're running and giggling.
depends on who you're running with.
But yeah, and I haven't tried the chews, but Seth recently tried them and he really liked them. They come in like a 2-pack of little chews. Have you tried the chews?
I have.
Okay, so they have some non-flavor, and then there's also like a mint and a lemon.
Yep.
And he said they're both really, really good. He loved them, and it's like the same kind of nutrition as far as you would get from the gels.
Yeah.
And they have like a big gel with the screw cap, so you could just
90.
like 90 grams of carbs
Yep.
in one little packet.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Joel's favorite.
Yeah.
You mentioned that. He uses those a lot. And I really do like the Precision. Their drink mix is fantastic because I think they keep it simple.
Mm-hmm.
They got the 500, the 1000, and the 1500. So you know exactly what you're getting. You don't have to do math, anything else.
Yeah.
The flavors are very subtle. So it's not like overpowering. It's not sugary. I think they've done a fantastic job. And the one thing I did say, when you go to their website, have you done this?
Mm-hmm.
You go to their website, and type in what you're doing.
Oh yeah.
Like a 50K with this vert, I'm planning on exerting, or what. They have all this questionnaire, and then they'll pop out what you need and when you need it. And you can order just that. Like, you don't have to order 20 gels or 10 hydration things. Like, oh, you just need 7 of these hydrations, 3 of these gels, and 4 of these ones, and you're set.
Yeah.
I love that. I think that's so cool. And then you can experiment with that to find what works.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. So yeah, big fan of the precision. The other nutrition that I've also really liked is the Science in Sport. They have a beta gel, and it's the same thing. In a little gel, it packs a pretty big punch. You can get one. It's 40 grams of carb in just one little gel. And it's not that sugary, sticky. It's more liquidy on the gel side. And again, that like non-flavor, it's very neutral.
So that's one I need to try, because I tried a few of those this year. Same thing. I went on the feed and ordered a bunch of random stuff to test. And when I tested that one, I had the beta and the other one, but I had flavors.
Okay.
Because they have like a limey
They have like
one.
the like isotonic that are the flavors. Yep. Did you like those?
I didn't. I didn't like the flavored ones, and I'm like, ooh, they just didn't. They've made. And again, it's something I think I would need to try again, because I don't know going into it where I was at, but I know when I tried them the first time, because I have like a cherry cola, I believe, and something else, and I was like, oof, like it just didn't sit well. But it couldn't. It maybe just wasn't the gel.
Yeah.
But Joel mentioned these as well. The SIS is what their packaging is, but their packaging is pretty slick.
It is slick.
Yeah, it's thinner, it's taller. It's almost like a electrolyte types, like Skratch Lab look to it.
Yeah, and so I have tried some of their flavored ones, but maybe a different. So I've tried like the Tutti Frutti.
Yeah, not me.
And the pineapple.
Yep, not me. So yeah, I didn't try those for sure.
Those are probably my favorite of the flavored. And again, it's more of a liquidy gel than a Martin like Jello kind of gel. It's pretty easy to get those down, I feel like.
Tutti Frutti is my
they're like a mild flavor.
Pretty mild.
Yeah.
Huh, I haven't. Mine were
I don't know.
Flavorful.
Okay. Like you'll have to try some of those maybe.
Yeah, Tutti Frutti is reserved for my e-cigarettes. I think that's Tutti Frutti. Which I'm joking, everybody.
Of course.
Yeah, I go pure non-filtered cigarettes. I don't mess around with these things.
But like the isotonics, they're not quite that huge load of the 40 grams of carbs and as many calories. I think they're closer to like a 90 to 100 calorie. Those are maybe kind of just like a little filler kind of gel. But I also love Honey Stinger, the Stroop waffles. They are like a little treat. And I personally can't just eat, especially for like 100K, 100 miler. I need more substance to what I'm taking in. I actually, like, my stomach will start growling if I haven't eaten real food when I'm out all day. So I like to have some actual food to eat. So Honey Stinger waffles, I love those. I also love the Honey Stinger gels, or not, or chews. Sorry, chews. They're kind of like little fruit snacks. Some chews that I've tried before are really chewy. They get stuck in your teeth and it takes forever to work those things down. These I can munch on and get them. They're kind of like a little treat for me too. I also do the Martin. I love the caffeine ones. It's 100 milligrams of caffeine in one little pouch. And it's just, when you really need that pick me up, the Martin gels are there for you. I love them. And if some people hate the texture.
If you haven't tried Martin, I think that's a thing you need to know. There is a texture to them. It's chunky.
It's like, reminds me of
It's like
Jell-O.
spoiled milk.
It's like Jell-O.
It's like Jell-O.
It is. It's
Heidi
chunky.
was the first one that ever told me about Martins when you were training for your Ironman.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
See, and and Sarah used them for a while. And we were on a run once, and it was warm out, and we were doing sardine. We're going uphill. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try a Martin. I didn't know they were textured. I thought it was like a viscous gel. Yeah, I thought mine was spoiled. I was like,
he was like, wait, is this bad? Is this what it's supposed to look like?
Is
this
like,
right? And I'm like, yeah, no, that's it.
Yeah, it didn't make it the rest of the way with me. And I haven't tried to, I just, yeah.
Now it's ruined.
It kind of is.
But maybe if you would have been prepared for the texture.
Maybe.
Yeah,
maybe. Because I think when you're eating peanut butter, you know the texture,
right?
When you have like a goo, you know the texture. When you have a hammer, you know the textures. And I think Martin for me was supposed to be this, oh yeah, it's not real gel, it's smooth. I'm like, oh. And then I'm like, why's mine got chunks in it, man? Like, did a mouse die in mine? Yeah. So I think that's very well received brand. But if you're going to try it, know that it's chunky.
Yes.
It's like chunky peanut butter versus smooth. You got to know the difference.
Yeah.
It's like Jell-O.
It's like Jell-O. But you can do, I feel like you can like, it's like instead of a liquidy gel, you can just like swallow like one.
So what else is on there? What else is on your nutrition list?
All right. Well, moving back. My other stuff really is actual food. And I just like to take real food. It's simple. Sometimes you haven't put in a recent order at the feed and your little stash of,
or it takes 7 weeks to get it.
or it takes a while to get it. You don't have your like go-to items in your pantry. And so it's just kind of these are other things that I always have on hand to take out on runs. I do like the peanut butter and jelly. I'll just make my own little sandwich. Usually I should just do the Uncrustables, but I make my own. I'll like cut it into like squares and wrap them up in just like saran wrap. And then I can take one little section of the sandwich and just munch on that. I do the fruit leathers. My go-to candy treat are sour gummy worms. I swear they are magic. I don't know what's in them, but they're so good. I think it's that little bit of sour flavor too.
Depends on what store you buy them at, probably.
Those kind of gummies.
I mean, they're magical.
So magical. I also do Fig Newtons. I'll do Snickers bars. Those are a little trickier when it's hot out. But like when I did Rufa and I was training in the winter, it's I don't know. For me, I like to have something to look forward to. Because sometimes it gets difficult to eat when you're out all day long. And so to have kind of a little treat that you're looking forward to eating is kind of fun. And when it's hot outside, I'll also do paydays because they don't really melt, but it's just kind of something different.
I had those in Wasatch 100 one year.
Yeah.
I had a bunch of payday bars. Just the teeny little, they were good little snacks. I mean, you got the salt, the peanut. I mean, it's a little combo of that. You get the salt and the sweet. So savory. Yeah. That's kind of what it was. So,
change it up. And then I do also, like Sarah, like to do some protein to recover post-run. I do try to get that in pretty much every run if I can, fairly shortly after. And during the winter, I love to make it like a little hot chocolate protein. So if you are doing that, I will just warn you, heat up like your milk or your water first, then add your protein and mix it in. You don't want to heat up your protein in the microwave or it will go chunky and no one wants that.
It's like drinking a Martin.
Yeah, no
hot
good.
Martin. What kind of protein is it? Do you have a preference?
My go-to, I just get it from Costco. It's like the Optimum Nutrition and just the chocolate flavor.
I got a new brand that became, it's called Freak Shake.
Ooh.
I haven't tried it yet.
Sounds fun.
But it's got like protein, electrolytes, like a big recovery drink.
Cool.
So yeah, I'm excited to give that one a solid once over and report back. Yeah. Freak Shake. Just like the name of it.
And do you have to like?
I don't know. I think I probably will.
Yeah.
I'll probably do a little freak shake.
A little freak shake while you're
I'm sure I will. Or try one.
Yeah.
How's that? Yeah, protein's important, I think, for recovery, especially as you age. I think it's important.
Yep, absolutely.
We good?
Think that's really it. Yeah. Okay. And also for recovery, I think sometimes you overlook and we just try to really get that protein, but you should also be replenishing your carbs a little bit too. So with my protein, I'll just eat, some fruit or some bread or like something else too. So don't just only focus on your protein.
I think recovery Sarah and I have done is Rooster's Naughty Fries and beer.
Ooh, that's a great recovery.
Super solid.
Yes.
I mean, you can't go wrong. Yeah. We always leave happy.
Yep, that's great. Yeah. Love it.
All right, so now we're in the miscellaneous category, and this encompasses pretty much anything we haven't covered, minus casual afterwear. So this could be, we talk about lighting, we talk about just watches, anything. And as I say this in the men's episode, I mentioned it, I'm giving away my Suunto Spartan watch. It's blue. It's fairly new, barely used, but it just sits there. And I feel really bad because it's still a quality watch. And so we're just going to give it away. So all you have to do on the podcast, if you're listening, is just say, hey, I want Suunto, and I'll just send it to you. No, I won't charge you for shipping, but I think it just needs to go to some good hands. Solid watch. So if you're watching the YouTube, there it is right there. It's super nice. The battery's low, as you can see, but yeah, we're just giving that away. So that's just one of the many things we're giving away on the podcast. We got all kinds of stuff. So let's do it. Miscellaneous, what you both have. We can go back and forth too. We don't have to stick in the aisle because there's so much stuff.
I feel like this will be a bounce back and forth.
Okay.
Let's
yeah.
bounce it.
Yeah.
Let's bounce it. Let's start us off.
I'm going to start with lighting.
Lighting.
I bought 2 new lights earlier, one much earlier this year and one just recently. I bought earlier this year, I purchased the Black Diamond Storm rechargeable headlamp, and I love it. Love
Lumens.
it. A lot of them.
2.
It's really good. I don't know.
Okay, keep going.
You know me.
Yep, I do.
Yeah. Okay. I will say it lasts for a very long time and it's very bright. For the short runs, especially, you just need light for the first hour or 2 or at the end of the day a little bit. I did love and I still would like another Petzl Bindi. Mine did eventually die, but this Storm, it is just your normal size. And I think everybody knows what I'm talking about, like just the normal size of headlamp, but it's very comfortable. And
it's a normal size.
It's a normal size.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only size I like personally is normal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it lasts a very long time. And then I also recently, and I think Heidi has one, but I bought my first Kagala light, hopefully my only one because they're very expensive. But for those that don't know what it is a magnet, almost a strip of 5 lights. Do you have yours? I brought
the
mine.
Black Diamond Storm
mine,
is a 450 lumen, just for the record.
The 450?
450.
Okay.
So Kagala, you mentioned,
Yeah.
Joel brought his on last week
Nice.
because he got one.
And did he love his?
He did. He got the single battery, and he's already built Velcroed it to a specific waist belt.
Okay.
So he only wears it right now. He just wears that waist belt, and and the battery sits in the back, and it's kind of set to that. He's playing with other options, but he bought a specific waist. It never comes off his waist belt right now, just for ease.
So it comes with a magnet strip.
Yeah.
The lights magnet to the strip. I stick the magnet in my waist belt and then just clamp it on there. But there's so many ways to wear it, which is pretty cool. I did purchase the 9-hour battery, which is larger. I am going to purchase the 3-hour one because I don't need the batteries are large, the longer they last. But I love this light. I'm a big fan. I was kind of on the fence between this and the Ultra Spire, which I know that's the one you like because it's a little bit less all around.
Intrusive.
I don't find this intrusive. I'm
kidding.
Really
it's just kind of the joke with it.
And I do love the options like the magnet. Somebody that I run with, she puts her magnet in her vest and clamps it to her vest. So it's right in the front and center. One of the selling points was you can take it camping and clamp it onto your outside of your camper or something metal while you're camping. So it's multifunctional.
Yep. I think it's a great purchase. I think it's the fun part about it is if you're doing out and backs on a race course, people on the way back towards you are going to say, "Holy shit!"
Heidi had that experience.
I had that experience.
Yeah,
I had
because they are bright.
They're really bright. I had a Kogala and my pacer had a Kogala, and we were just blinding people.
I could imagine it's like a semi truck coming down the trail.
That's what they
with
felt
brights
like.
on. Yeah, it's scary. I remember when the Ultra Spire first came out, it was a waist belt, and again, these were 800 lumens,
right?
Which nobody's seen on a waist belt, and people thought I thought you were a motorcycle coming down the trail. I'm like, God, I wish I was that.
I had people comparing it to an industrial construction light.
That might be a little overkill.
I thought they were exaggerating a little bit.
But I see what you mean. When you're used to seeing a 400 lumen headlamp coming at you, and then here comes the UFO.
Yeah.
But they're quality. They've been around.
Yeah.
Not forever, for a while, and I think they're doing a good job. The battery option's really cool for size and length.
So you have the 2 options.
And I think there's one more bigger than this one.
The bigger one.
Okay, so this is the medium, small, and then there's.
Why don't you hold those up? Because this is on YouTube.
Okay.
I didn't mention that a lot where we've been playing with that. So she's holding up the different size of the battery pack. Now, why don't you hold up the actual Kagala itself?
So this is the light part, and then this is the magnet that it comes with, and
it's like a magnet plate.
Yeah, and so it's pretty strong magnet. You can put it really. The way I wear mine is I use the Solomon pulse belt.
Yep.
And so it actually works really great. I'll just slide the magnet part in this part of the pocket, and then the light can boom right on there. And then on the other side of the Solomon pulse belt, there's this zipper pocket. And so I'll throw the battery pack in there. And then I have the cord's kind of long. Yeah. So then you have options, of where to put it. But I have mine all bungeed together so it doesn't get caught and drive me crazy. But it rides really well. And then, if you only need your light for a little bit, you can have the smaller pack, or if for some reason your other pack like ran out of battery, then you now have another option or something.
Yeah.
So
It's interesting. She and I wear it the same way, but my cord is much shorter.
oh really?
Yeah.
So mine's
probably like that.
okay. So mine's probably one of the earlier editions. I've had my Kogala for quite a while. So maybe now the cord is shorter.
Which is cool because they last a long time then.
Yeah. We've gotten a lot of use out of it. Seth and I each don't have one. We both use this one.
Sure.
And so
and we talk about like on the podcast too. So people, if you're new to a waist light, it's still important, I think, maybe to have a headlamp. Learning, and this is just learning the hard way for me. The first time I wore my waist belt, that's all I took. Obviously you're wearing it because it's dark, and I heard a noise in the bush. I turned to look, and obviously you'd have to turn your entire torso to look. And so that was different. And then tying your shoe. So sometimes it's nice to have, even with the waist belt, just a small, like a bindi headlamp or something small just for that. Or if you're looking in your pack, you know, like
Yes.
you're not holding it down around your goods and looking through your pack that way. So anyway, just a little thing there.
yeah, I agree with that. It's a funny to get used to when
It
you're
is.
out and you look because you heard a noise and then you can't see anything.
Yeah,
'cause
it's super
just
dark. Like, well, that didn't work. And then you got to turn your whole
Then you turn-
pelvis
yeah.
that way. And yeah, then it gets really spicy.
I need to see what I'm seeing. I ran one time without the headlamp, and I need a headlamp also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's, again, not your primary source, like
Right.
the Kogala, the Ultra Spire. I mean, those things will light up the trail for you. The headlamp's just a nice little safety feature that you don't need to rely on as much.
Yeah.
Maybe. Or you don't need it on high so it dies quicker. You could put it on the lowest setting, really,
Right.
For the most part. So, okay, Kogala. What else we got in the miscellaneous category? Covered lighting a little bit.
Yeah, and I have pretty much similar lighting. I also have the bindi headlamp. I love my bindi.
Yeah.
We actually got gifted a bindi after Seth was on this podcast because one of your listeners was like, I'm sure Seth doesn't have one of these because he is not a gear person. And so
I
they're
need
like,
friends like that.
you need this headlamp. And I didn't have one either, and I have loved it. It's so small because I kind of hate having a big
Ugh.
giant headlamp bouncing around, and it is just great.
Well, it's because it packs nice.
You can throw it in a pocket, super easy, and yeah, like it only lasts a couple hours, full power, but early morning run, late night, like that's really all you need anyways.
Yep.
It's rechargeable. I love that.
200 lumens.
Yeah.
It's just a good, it's like a Patagonia Houdini. It's nice to have when you
Just
need
a
it.
staple.
Yeah,
Yep.
staple to me,
Mhm.
for sizing and stuff. What else we got? Seth has nice friends.
He really
buying him
does. And you have
headlamps.
great listeners.
Gosh, I wish I had both great friends and good listeners.
I'm not sure where to go next. I'm gonna say on the just where I had starting out, I have a heart rate monitor, a chest strap. I know nowadays a lot of the new watches have the wrist-based heart rate, and a lot of people like to train by heart rate. I don't think the wrist-based is very accurate most of the time.
There's been a lot of studies on that, and it's definitely the chest one's the most accurate.
The chest
for
is
sure.
the most accurate. So just I would say, depending, on your training and how serious you want to be, and if you are training with heart rate, if you're going to do that, I would recommend getting a chest strap if you're actually going to really focus on that data. And there's different ones that you can get. I would recommend maybe like a Garmin or a Polar. It's going to run you anywhere from like $50 to $100. But if you're really trying to dial in, like making those easy runs easy, I think that's really when a heart rate monitor can come in to play. Just so you're keeping it as easy as you think you are. Your heart rate can really help you dial that in. So
Nice.
Yeah.
What else? Come on, let's buzz them down.
What's next?
Whatever you want.
Poles.
Poles.
What poles do you use?
Okay, my poles, I have the Black Diamond like Z poles.
That's what I bought this year too.
I like those. I know a lot of people also like the Lecky poles. I also have a pair of the Solomon poles. I think my Black Diamonds are my favorite, but the Solomons are a little bit lighter weight. They're kind of cool too. But the Black Diamonds, they've just always been my go-to. I have like a female version, and they are a little bit adjustable on the length, which is kind of cool.
I have those same ones. I just bought those this year. I don't have a lot of experience in the poles. I think this is the first year I've really used them very much, but I did buy the Carbon C women's poles. So
Z-poles.
Z-poles.
That's what I have.
Yeah.
Old ones.
Yeah.
I used yours first, and they were too tall, so then
And
I
you
bought
used them more than I did.
I know. I have.
I've had them for like 10 years.
Yeah.
They're probably brittle.
I forget to like pull mine out during training runs, and then I'll like remember like, oh, before 100, I'm like, oh, I should be using my poles, but I probably should use them more often. They're a great tool.
Yeah.
What else? Up to you.
Watches.
Both watches. Do it.
Yeah.
What do you wear?
I wear a Garmin Phoenix. It's a 3. So this is like ancient, but it's held up. It's a great watch. I will say my altimeter is broken on it right now. So my vert is always off, but I do the Strava adjustment. I'm not cheating, people. But that my elevation gain is always way off. Sometimes I would like to leave it because usually it gives me like double what I'm actually getting for my elevation.
You'll get flagged.
I would totally get flagged. So I do
There's
the
flaggers
Strava
out
like
there.
vert adjustment on every run.
If you're a flagger,
Yeah.
get a job. I hear so many stories and I'm like, why would people flag? Like, it
I know.
doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
Me and Joel had this discussion with someone else as well. It's like, it's kind of interesting. It was like a big debate back east. There was somebody flagging somebody. And I'm like, why does it matter?
Yeah.
Like, it really
doesn't.
Yeah. Anyway, so
Yeah.
leave your vert. Let's see who flags you.
But Strava
shame
for
on
me, like I love to just keep track of my own
Sure,
stats.
me
And
too.
so that's what I want them accurate, mostly just for my own little personal journal is all. So yeah. But so my watch, I would love to get a new one, but mostly it still works great. The only thing that doesn't work is the vert. And so
If you got a new one, would it just be the
it would
newer
probably
version?
be a newer version of a Phoenix.
Okay.
It's a high-end watch.
It's like $1,200 right now for the one I just saw that came out.
Yeah.
That's like a
It's-
MacBook on your
it's a
wrist.
lot.
What does it do?
It can do all kinds of things.
Does it drive
Honestly,
your
I probably
car?
don't even use half of
That's how I am.
what this watch can do, and the newer versions can even do so
Start your
much
car.
more. Yeah, probably.
Probably can, huh?
Yeah,
Technology.
but I think you could get by. I would. I love Garmin. I've always used Garmin. I know there's other great brands out there, but you can do a Forerunner. That was my first ever Garmin watch.
That was
The
mine as well.
Forerunner, and it worked great. And really, I would just say if you're looking for a new watch, just look at, maybe go on to Garmin or whatever brand you want to look at, and then just look at the specs and be like, what do I need? Do I need one that is waterproof? Am I a triathlete? Am I going to be swimming?
Do I need it to hold music? 'Cause I
Yeah.
don't have my phone.
Yeah. Do I
Yeah.
want to be able to get my text messages and all of that kind of stuff through it? Do I just really want a really long battery? Do I want one that can solar charge while I'm out, because I'm going to be out all day and I don't want to have to worry about recharging my watch on a long event or
A lot of
all-day
variables.
adventure.
And because you can get a good one today free on the podcast, but you can get, a couple $100.
Yeah.
Really.
for
And-
a really
and
good watch.
for a really good
Yes.
watch, probably watch that 90% of the people would be fine with, to be honest with
Absolutely.
you. But
Yeah.
then you do have the 1200, and you think some people are like, oh, I need to make sure, it lasts through 100. And it's like, well, how many hundreds do you run? Well, I haven't this year. Right. But I think there's convenience of not having to worry about charging it.
Yeah.
That's a big thing, like the solar side. But yeah, there's a lot of variables to them. So when people say, oh, I don't have one because of the cost, if you do your homework, you can still get a really good deal on one,
Yep.
Especially during the holidays.
Mhm.
And when new models come out, the previous model is
Yep.
usually less. And sometimes it's a small feature that's added. You can't do a whole lot more of these watches.
That's what I think. There's
Yeah.
not much more to add.
Yeah.
So
So,
Yeah.
okay. Sarah, watch.
I have always worn Suunto,
Yeah.
and so I've had several of the Suunto 9 barometer ones. Earlier this year, Suunto came out with the vertical,
Mhm.
which I think that was probably to compete with the Koros, because Koros got to be and is such a big watch brand now. The vertical, I got the solar option on mine, and I don't ever have to charge it. I mean, I do. I put it on the charger probably once a week, but it's just out of
Habit. And
and I just do it. I mean, I've done a 100 with it and still didn't charge it for another like 4 or 5 days. I can download the maps onto it like you can with a lot of watches these days. It's just, I really love it. Also, I just love Suunto. So
Well, I have a Suunto vertical, not the solar.
mhm.
And I was Koros for a few years, but I really did like Suunto at the end of the day a little bit. Just the aesthetics of it was a little better for me. I did like the course. Nothing wrong with it for sure, but I think the kind of creature of habit, when I've used something for so long, you're just used to how the features are, the app, how it plugs in. Because I mean, if you look at the main 3 players, Garmin, Suunto, Coros, really, there's not a whole lot of like things that one has that one doesn't, right? Because for so long, everybody's chasing battery life. They've got that dialed, right? And even the solar side now, but they all have all these crazy features that 90% of the people won't use. So I don't think there's a ton of thing, but it's like the Coke Pepsi thing in a lot of ways to me.
I will say I did run with a friend recently, and she's got a newer Garmin, and the map on that Garmin is pretty incredible. You can zoom out.
Oh yeah.
And you can do that on the Suunto, but you can also see other connecting trails around you, not just the trail that you have downloaded, which
That's
I thought was
awesome.
pretty cool.
That is cool. All right. Watches. Good job. Like it. What else? Any miscellaneous? Let's buzz through this.
Okay. Socks.
Got to have them. What you got?
Paca, features, and stance. Those are my 3 go-tos.
See, Paca's mine. And then features, we're giving a couple pair of feature socks away on the podcast. If you want some feature socks, just say, hey, Eric, I want some features. Friends at FleetFeet are hooking us up.
Nice.
And with some cool Tula micro spikes. If you want some of those, just let me know. We got a couple pair of those to give away from our friends at FleetFeet here locally. But yeah, Paca, features, and stance. Love it.
Okay. I do Dry Max socks.
Okay.
I love those. I trust them, especially if I'm going to have a really wet run or race where I know I'm going to be crossing lots of water. My feet are going to be wet the whole time. Those have been great for me. I don't get blisters, and they've held up really well. And then I also do the Belega socks.
Oh, we have those.
They're so comfy. I love them, and they hold up. I have had Belegas forever that still don't have holes in them, and it's just amazing to me. They've been through a lot.
And I have some Dry Max, not a ton, but I do. And I think Paca for me is that same way.
Okay, yeah.
Is they don't really make my feet don't feel wet when they get wet. And now they've got like the 3/4 length, because when they first came out with them, they just had the ankle high ones or whatever, whatever they call those. But that's key.
And then it gives away your age. If you're wearing ankle socks nowadays, the kids will be like all over you.
No, I don't care about that. I'm already old. Joel was talking about how we're both aging so much in the last one. They're wearing earmuffs and stuff, earmuff headbands. But yeah, socks are. No one said in gingy, so that made my whole podcast.
Those are too much work. I take
2 gels before I try and put them on, just so I have enough energy to get them on my toes.
I'd be too exhausted to go for a run after putting a pair of those on. Yeah.
And I love them, but I don't like them at all.
Okay,
what else we got?
I'm going to throw a dog item in there.
Oh, love it.
Okay. The Night Eyes, NATEIZE.
Yep.
Retractable collar leash. So it's a collar.
Genius.
And the leash tucks up in the collar, and it's it's wonderful.
It's amazing.
I do run with my dog off leash, but technically he is on a leash, and it's really just nice when you see other people. You can just grab them really quickly and then be on your way.
Oh, they're amazing.
NITEIZE.
Night Eyes. So they make lights and stuff too. So it's not what they do, but they make dog lights and different things. But it's just a collar with a little padded-ish area, and it's got a retractable leash, and it has a little handle for the leash too. So it's not just a cord.
The leash is probably like 2.5, 3 feet long.
Yeah,
so it's just to get you, a short little ways.
Yeah, I wish they had more colors. They have red
and blue.
That's it.
And then they have those two.
Yeah.
And they
just
don't have
the
green.
Tank top situation.
They don't have green.
Green's the best color.
They need green for my dog. Even like a black would be nice, just a neutral. Yeah, just red and blue, just Crips and Bloods.
Yeah,
turf war.
Yeah.
Way
my dog item on my list is I need like a seat cover because after just a muddy run, even any run, their paws are just dirty, and so I need a great seat cover option. I've looked at a few on Amazon, but I'm not 100% sure on what I want to get. So if anyone has a great recommendation.
Sarah and I both have seat covers for the back,
like those hammocky
like that. I think if you have a dog and you're gonna do it, you have to have something that covers it all. If you just covered a seat, they can get on the floor, they can get on the door, the headrest, the front seat, the paws. So Sarah has one that she's put in her Subaru, and I haven't had to use mine yet. In my truck I got one as well, but I haven't even had to use it yet because my dog can't go out in the real world. He's not old enough yet. He's too young.
It's coming though.
When this podcast launches, he'll be of age. Yeah. So if you're listening to this on 11/26/24, my dog Timber is of age to go outside and meet friends and sniff nasty things and hopefully not eat them. So, but I think Sarah's, we've used yours and you've used yours
Mhm.
quite a bit, and they're just handy. They're nice. Yeah. And you can put people back there that you don't really want messing
Yeah,
with your stuff either.
yeah.
Just like, you had
Or
a rough day,
kids,
just sit in the
maybe.
back.
Yeah.
Or Seth. Yeah.
Seth,
Or
exactly.
me. I'm pretty nasty.
It's like a hammock. You can just curl up back there.
And the curling. But yeah, good idea. Dogs. What else?
I have one other thing.
Yeah.
Not dog. Like a quick dry towel. I forget the name of it, but I bought it when we were out of town. But I know that there's all sorts of brands.
Nomadics.
Yeah. And anyway, a quick dry towel, especially for the summer when you're super sweaty. I get disgusting, and sitting in my clean car always pains me. So something to sit on to protect.
Because
my
Orange
car.
Mud came out with them.
Oh, yeah.
Nomadics, I think, is the one you have. They have
Yeah.
different designs, but yeah, they're just great covers for your car. And then there's Sprints, I think, is the other one that a lot of stores carry with like fun graphics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a must, I think, for nastiness. Me and Jill talked about that too.
Yeah.
Getting that nasty on everything.
I think that's a great item.
What else we got? We got to have more stuff. You both do. I know you do.
So you had mentioned that you have some Catula
Mm-hmm.
spikes to give away. So I brought a couple. I have the micro spikes and I have the exo spikes.
Okay.
And so I brought them so you can kind of just see the difference.
If you're watching this on YouTube, you can see it. If you're listening, you can't see this. If you're listening, you can't see this.
You could hear that maybe.
So which one do you prefer, or what is the instances for each?
So it kind of the micro spikes are a little more intense. This is the micro spike.
Yep.
The spikes on it are a little more
cleaty.
Yeah.
Yep. Teethy.
That's a better word. And then the micro spikes, it's really mostly rubber, and then they just have these little
like Trek spiky looking things almost.
Yeah, and it almost seems like that wouldn't really do very much.
Yeah.
But I like these, and they actually are way more like grippy and solid than you think they might be.
Mm-hmm.
I wore these the whole time during Rufa last year because it was kind of switching between like down low at the trailhead, it was dirt. And then there were sections that were icy. And then up high, it was more like that packed snow. And so these I wear when it's going to be kind of that variable. You're switching back between maybe it's icy. Now I'm on dirt, where really I don't like to wear these big spikes when I'm going to be running on dirt and rocks and different things.
I feel like I'm going to start a fire.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Spark.
Yeah.
So do you feel, even with the lesser teeth, do you still on icier stuff, do you have enough, are you comfortable enough that you're not going to fall, or are you still a little more careful?
I'd say you're probably not quite as comfortable as with the micro spike,
Okay.
but it's still, I'm really impressed.
Yeah.
That they actually
shoulder season.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shoulder season.
Yeah.
Yep. And they really aren't, I almost feel like looking at them, you would think it'd be kind of slippery on some of that really icy stuff, but they have held me really well, and I feel pretty confident in them. So yeah.
Nice. Well, we've got 2 pair of the big boys, the micro spikes we're giving away. So if you want a pair, you just got to tag it. Just got to let me know, and we'll put a drawing if there's more than 2. Pretty simple, easy. I pay for shipping. What's wrong with me? Everybody get free stuff for no reason. We got Now Go Get It t-shirts. We got Now Go Get It hats. We got TrailManners shirts. We got all kinds of stuff we're throwing out there. What else?
Saucony puffy mittens.
Puffy mittens.
Mm-hmm.
So
You
yeah.
want pants. I just want mittens. Actually, I have the mittens, but they're getting worn out. I need a new pair, but my hands freeze so bad and I can't wear gloves. My fingers still get so cold. But last year, 2 years ago, Saucony has some puffy mittens. They're about $40, and I don't even have to use hand warmers anymore, which that says a lot.
Which I used to buy a box of them for Christmas. Can't even do that anymore.
Yeah.
It was like one Christmas idea.
You can always use hand warmers, I feel like.
That's true.
Yeah.
Especially here.
Yes.
It gets cold.
So I'm going to go opposite direction of hand warmers. One thing that you maybe are not thinking about this time of year, but come your hot like races during the summer, you're going to want one of these, a cooling bandana.
Oh, I didn't know where we were going for a minute. We got all over. I was like, damn, opposite direction.
Where are we going?
Feet warmers?
No.
Just what?
Instead of keeping your hands.
Yes.
warm,
Cooling bandana, ice bandanas.
down.
Yes.
I
love that.
It makes a huge difference in a really hot race if you can kind of try to keep your core temperature down a little bit. So they have some, with like a zip pocket or just a little pocket. Some have like a extra little almost like belty thing in there, and it makes it a little thicker, and it will hold the wet and cold fluid a little bit longer and keep you cool. So I don't know. I like those. And it's like a little stocking stuffer or something, maybe.
Stuffer. Yeah. What else?
I also think just some of these like little extra things are those things that sometimes us as trail runners forget to do or say we don't have time to do, but
Wash our
like
armpit. Oh,
I was gonna say foam rolling.
oh yeah. Oh
but-
yeah.
So
Yes.
if you don't have a foam roller, get a foam roller.
Yeah.
And
use it.
and use it.
Yeah.
You know, while you're scrolling through Instagram or Strava or listening to the TrailManners podcast.
Oh my God, you're my favorite idea.
Yeah, you can just, you're being super productive while you're doing that and foam rolling at the same time.
Truth.
Some other little things like resistance bands, be working on those adductors, do your clamshells, all of those things to keep your hips strong. All those things to keep us out on the trails happy and healthy. And then also I put on here I have a set of the Bowflex weights. And so these are like the adjustable weights, and mine range from like 5 pounds all the way up to 52.5. And it still takes up about the same size as what a couple of dumbbells would take up. They are a little pricey, but it still is a great deal compared to if you were going to buy a whole set of those dumbbells and space.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, depending on what your home situation is, it's not going to take up a ton of room. And it's pretty easy to just grab a couple dumbbells, switch the weight, really easy, and do some of those strength training exercises that
I was wondering why Seth looked so good in that high school singlet. Those tricky little minx.
Yep, he is. So yeah.
TRX straps are also pretty phenomenal.
Yes.
They don't take up space, and you get a full hard workout.
They're
They do the
deceptively
job.
hard.
Yeah.
Yes.
I forget every time I use them, and I go hard that first time, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't do that.
Yeah. Those were actually on my list
Yeah.
also. I love my
Yeah.
TRX straps,
Yeah.
but they are like sneaky hard.
They are sneaky hard.
I
I think talking recovery, you have the boots. They are not mine. I'm fully aware of that. But those compression boots are phenomenal.
Yep. The compression boots for your legs. Tons of brands.
Yeah.
Not even going to get into that, but yeah, those are really good for recovery, and also you can use them before you go out to kind of just warm up your legs and your compartments and your blood.
Mhm.
Yeah. Fancy wording.
Very fancy. Other kind of like recovery things, you could get, a loved one, a little stocking stuffer, like a gift card for a massage, maybe a session with Joel, like a personal
sports
trainer
therapy.
or something, some sports
Yes.
therapy. Maybe they need to do some yoga, get them like a punch card to a local yoga studio or something. Those are just like nice little easy stocking stuffer kind of.
So the one on my list right in that area
Mhm.
is a cold plunge sauna membership.
Ooh.
And there's one in Farmington. That's the closest to us. There is one right now. But when there's one here in the Ogden area, that's what I want. Cold plunge sauna membership. How magical could that be? Oh, it's just like heaven.
Yeah.
Gosh. Okay. That was a good one too. The giveaway to me.
Mhm.
To me.
Oh, is that a hint?
Oh, I didn't even think of it that
Oh,
way.
yeah.
We don't have one here. I want to open one. That's what I want to do for my life. Is just a cold plunge sauna owner. I think I'd be good at owning one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would have like a 21 and older one.
Oh, nice.
Like for drinking purposes,
Yeah.
not other stuff. Yeah. Let's
Like
get that straight.
First class. How would you do it? First class?
Plunge, first class thermostat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've already got another business plan I'm working on, but we won't get into that one. I like the membership stuff though. Yeah. Like stocking stuffers, right? Because everybody has friends like, I don't want to get them. You can all do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right. And all different price points. Right.
Right.
That's
And
the key.
yeah, and you could do like, okay, we talked about some of these higher priced items.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe somebody isn't going to go out and buy a pair of the Lululemon, but maybe if you gave them, a gift card, like maybe you can't quite buy the leggings either, but you could go halvesies, and then they feel like they can get a nice pair. So
Happened to me. My kids gave me a $25 Lululemon gift card, and which I loved. And I'm like, they obviously don't know Lulu as much, but for me, it was like, well, now I can look at something and it's not such a stretch to buy, or I feel as guilty buying it.
yeah,
I just wish they would have got me a gift card to Toyota earlier this year. That would have been nice too.
then you just have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that idea. And your local run shops. Support your local run shops. Support your local trails organizations. I definitely got to throw that in there. Everybody uses trails, literally uses them. Giving back to them is kind of fun too. Donations, memberships. and that's a personal thing. But what else you got? It's miscellaneous. Anything?
I don't have these, but I don't often run with music, but if I did run with music, I feel like these are the headphones that I'd want to get. They're made by Shocks.
Okay.
And they do the like bone conduction.
Yep.
So you don't actually have anything in your ear. You can still hear.
I have
be
a pair
aware. Do you?
for when I ride my bike.
Do you like them?
I love them. I
Yeah.
truly do. Like when I don't ride my bike a ton.
Mhm.
My dog ate my glasses a couple of days ago, but they fit great under a bike helmet. But by the way, totally can hear everything around you.
Cool.
I really do like them. I haven't taken them on a run,
Mhm.
which I probably could, but I usually when I run, just put one AirPod in, just one in, and I like that. But yeah, they're great. They really are.
Yeah.
For biking. I think they're incredible. And I'm not even a cyclist. I do have some Lycra pants, shorts though.
You're
So
definitely a cyclist. Though.
I like that. Thank you. Thank you. How about casual afterwear? You're done with a run. Maybe you're meeting a friend for a beer. Maybe you're meeting for a coffee. Maybe you just want to get unscenty. What do you got?
Well, I think for right after a run, my favorite El Vaquero Loco race hoodie, hint, hint, Ty. That's a good one. Vuori, anything Vuori. I throw my Birkenstocks on. Those are my favorite
Recovery shoes
to put on.
Yep.
At home, I recently discovered there's a brand called Glare-Ups. They're wool booties or slip-ons, and so I treated myself to a pair of these, and I would just wear them at home, and they're like magic on my feet. I love them so much. And then I recently went out on a limb and purchased from a brand called Tent Tree a Sherpa fleece jacket, and I was kind of on the fence because I hate things clinging to me, dog hair, anything. It just makes me cringe.
Yeah, trust me.
But I did splurge on this fleece, and it's so nice, and things won't stick to it. And so that's my other like comfy, cozy, warm after thing.
I like it.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So my favorite after run footwear are the Hoka slides.
Oh,
I love them. And Seth got a pair the very first time he finished Speed Goat. And he was just, gifted a pair by the Speed Goat, Carl.
Okay. I thought the same friend got him a headlamp. I'm like, good God, friend.
No. And we didn't wear these forever because we thought they were kind of silly looking.
For sure, because they are.
They are.
Yeah.
They totally are.
You got to make sure you don't care what you look like when you wear these.
Yeah.
And then you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But they are so great. So we would honestly, we truly use them as our like clean the shower shoes. Like,
no, you said no, they're what now?
They're the Hoka recovery.
No, but you clean the shower?
Clean the shower. Because you would like already get ready and then you have your socks on and then we'd forget that you need to like wipe down the shower after. And so you don't want to get your socks wet. So we would wear these and because they never went out of the house because we wouldn't ever wear them, but we would wear them to clean the shower. Anyways, we have moved on from that and now we love them and I wear them everywhere. And I don't care. I'll wear them to the grocery store and everything. And I've got my whole family wearing them. Everyone like loves the Hoka slides. They're so great.
I'm still caught on the clean the shower.
I know.
Shoes. Like, so you wear them to clean the shower?
We did.
Okay.
Mostly because it was just, we didn't want to get our feet wet after you had already gotten ready. And then we'd have to just like squeegee down the shower.
Okay.
Yes, those are them. And so, and they never went outside the house. You could wear them into the shower because they're clean.
I got you. I like it. I like it. I will be confused all day.
Okay.
And to a degree, it makes a little sense, but I've never had to clean the shower shoes. I thought you said my shower shoes. I'm like, oh, that makes total sense. You don't want to get.
Should I just say? But we don't shower in them.
I just clean the shower in them. I mean, totally different, Eric.
Totally.
I mean, shit, water's hitting them in the shower, but I'm not like showering in them.
Yeah.
All right, that makes sense. I like it. What else? Anybody? After run gear?
I put on there same thing, like Vuori, like hoodie, just something comfy I want to wear after a run or I'm all about the comfortable casual wear. I put a TrailManners t-shirt on there.
Thank you. Heidi plugs the show more than any. I love it. I'm gonna have you on so much.
But you should. Like I love to like support those like local things that you love and it gives back to them and it gives to you. And so like really like wear your favorite race hoodie and
Well, even yesterday we did the beer mile. Sarah wear her El Vaquero shirt, and Ty commented on the post I made because it was his hoodie. Yeah, he's like, that hoodie though. I'm like, but it's fun. Like even with like the TrailManners stuff, there's sometimes I'll show, Sarah, I'm like, oh my gosh, this person's wearing a TrailManners t-shirt, and that shirt is like 7 years old. It's just super cool, and it's a good feeling, right? To know that someone supported you for $10-20, but they're wearing your brand. I think it's fun.
It is fun.
It's fun to see people wear. In fact, a couple days ago, a guy posted on the page, he goes, I just spent a week in the Grand Canyon with my Woody Footy hat, and I had tons of people ask me what Woody Footy was. And I'm like, that's pretty cool.
It is
right?
cool.
Not that any of those people will find the podcast, but it's just kind of fun, right? So yeah, I think supporting, there's a lot of local things you can support in your own area, but it's a good feeling. I can speak from experience on that. It's a good feeling that your passion project sometimes gets a little love. Maybe that's the best way to say it.
Yep.
Oh, thank you.
Of course.
I'm wearing my I have a Death March Running Company hoodie on. I love Death March Running Company. A friend of mine is one of the founders of it, and they've got some just fun stuff. I wore the Beer Mile shirt yesterday.
Yeah, that was great. I like that.
And their hoodie's super fun. So yeah, I think good afterwear is needed. That's why I want some puffy 3/4 pants. I think after a cold winter run, chucking those on just to keep the old quadzillas, warmer. Because my calves don't get cold, but the old quadsies and hammies get a little cold.
I can honestly say I don't think I would ever put on puffy pants. I would never think about it.
And I feel like
well, I'm not going to wear them with Hoka slides or anything. I'm going to have some shoes on.
Oh man, if you're doing that, like you should go full in and do Hoka slides.
North Face Thermoball traction mule shoes, little puffy shoes to go with them. How cool is that? I'm already puffy, and if I'm wearing puffy, I can go get coffee. I'm like, hey, check it out. Man, I want some puffy 3/4 pants.
But the 3/4 with the puffy throws me off. I feel like if you're going puffy, then you probably need the full length.
Nah, calves are good.
I feel like you're gonna be like swishing everywhere, like swoosh, swoosh, like sleeping bag. Swoosh, swoosh.
I don't care. Most of the time, you're just driving in your car anyway.
Oh, it's true.
Right? Or you're just sitting down having some coffee or something. I don't really rub my legs
please
back
don't
and
wear
forth
them
like
with
a cricket.
flip-flops. I don't think I could handle all of that noise.
Well, I just told you I'm wearing them with my Hoka slides.
As long as they don't flop.
They don't flop.
They don't.
Okay.
Yeah, even in the shower, they don't flop.
They kind of get squeaky in the shower.
What else? Anything else?
I put one thing on here. Like, I don't know. Most people probably don't wear their 100-mile buckles around much. I wear mine occasionally, mostly to I don't know, like a pre-race meeting or something, just for fun.
I love that.
That means you're just kind of showing your resume a little bit.
Yeah, it's like I've been here, I've done this. Yeah.
There's only one 100-mile buckle. Well, only one race buckle I've ever wore.
Really?
Yeah, and it's on a belt, and I never wear it, but it's the same thing. And I don't even say special, but it's the only race buckle. It was my sub 30 Wasatch buckle.
Oh, yeah.
So it's kind of that turquoise color anyway.
Yeah.
And it's not like they're just generic under 36 ones that look the same.
Maybe I should put one on my pack for my next 100, because I had a lady towards the end of I'm Tough ask me, oh, is this your first 100? No, just because you're passing me doesn't mean I don't know what I'm doing.
That'd be, maybe they should give out those small patches. You can put them on your pack, because you wear those more than pants and belts.
Yeah.
So I'd love to wear, actually, I want to wear my El Vaquero belt.
Maybe that's the new thing.
You have a 5-year?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that thing
a long time ago too. That's how old I am. Yeah, I should wear that sometime.
You should.
I think you would need a chest belt to
you
hold
would.
that one up.
Yeah.
Let's put it in my cleavage. It'll sit.
It'll stay. But so where I was going with that is, maybe you're not going to wear your 100-mile belt buckle, or maybe you didn't do 100, but you did some other kind of race or accomplishment that meant a lot to you. I feel like you could get somebody some cute jewelry, like for a lady, a necklace that maybe it has that 100-mile race on there, or maybe it has their favorite mantra, like now go get it, or
Jeez, stop it, Heidi. She's making me blush.
Like the license plate frames.
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
Yeah,
I like the jewelry thing.
Just
that's pretty
something
cool.
Meaningful to them.
Trinket, if they have little bracelets with things on them, or even a men's cuff bracelet with something on it.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
And something maybe you could even wear during a race, and you can glance down at that little bracelet or whatever, and it is that little motivation of, oh yeah,
You know
Don't
what? So
get
it's
what
funny.
you wish for. You get what you work for. Here we go.
My gosh,
Yeah.
you're the new co-host. I wear a silicone one, TrailManners one, and it says "Now go get it" on it.
See,
I've had it for years, just a little cheap thing, but you know,
Yeah.
sometimes mantra people, you know, now go get it. We have the shirts and the hats.
Mm-hmm.
Man, Heidi, you got a lot of street cred going on
Thank
right
you.
now here.
Thank you.
Good golly, I can't wait to have you on again. What else? I like that idea though. Something for somebody that is you're close with, because it's most people don't talk about their trail running accomplishments, and it doesn't have to be 100. It could be a trail half marathon. I mean, everybody has their own, you know, thing for sure, but having something almost to remind them, right? Like, I think as trail runners in general, the egos aren't really there for the percentage. And so I think sometimes you just don't talk about it. You don't show it.
Yeah.
You know, and I think sometimes it's kind of fun to remind yourself that you did hard things, right? Because I think it's important to remember I got this, because everybody faces hard challenges in life. And if you've done a hard challenge, even though it's a trail race or anything, having that reminder, just remind yourself sometimes. So I love that. I actually really do like that idea. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you need to celebrate those things that you have accomplished. A lot of times, trail runners in general, you're always looking for that next thing and you check it off the list and you kind of don't spend enough time celebrating that thing. And it does need to be celebrated, all of those amazing accomplishments that you've done. And so, yeah, take that time and celebrate it.
I like it. What else? How about Christmas things you want? Anything on the list? Sarah, do you have anything on your list?
I've got a couple things.
I hope so.
I would like a new pretzel bindi.
I'm
sorry, I forgot. We're talking into a microphone.
Yeah,
my
this is a
apologies.
podcast.
Yep, sorry.
Watch
I would like
Heidi
a new
does.
pretzel
She's a
bin.
veteran.
I know Heidi knows what she's doing. She's good.
A bindi.
Yeah,
Okay.
Mine died, and I just haven't replaced it. I want, Heidi talked about the Salomon Bonatti jacket that she loves earlier, but I actually want and kind of need the jacket and the pants. As a just in case. But I'm also I wrote down which jacket did you have? The waterproof one?
Quesadilla?
The Marmot. The
Okay.
Marmot jacket.
Yeah.
But no, I've been looking at the Salomon Bonatti just so I can have that whole storm gear set up if and when I need it.
Yeah. It's always
That's
good
on
to
my
have.
wish list. And then there's another, I don't know how many things my dog can put around his neck when we talk about collars, but because he uses the retractable leash collar. But there's a brand called Wolfpack, and they make a dog first aid kit collar. So the dog carries his own first aid kit. And I looked at the first aid kit off the top of my head. I can't remember all the things in it right now, but there are some slightly different things that would come in handy if your dog was injured while you were not close to.
That's a great idea. And it's by who?
Wolfpack.
Wolfpack.
Yeah, it's kind of pricey. It's about $80, but
when you're talking about your
when
dog,
I'm talking about my dog, that's pennies. So those are my two big things right now that I really want.
Nice.
Yeah.
How about you, Heidi?
So the dog car seat cover is on my list. I got to get like some kind of setup for that. And then Path Projects, if you're listening, start some women's kill 'em pants. Just saying. I'm just throwing that out there. And then this is kind of maybe something that not everyone would like. That's a trail runner, but I do some biking, and in the off season, it's nice to have something that you're able to do indoors when the weather is kind of terrible or the trails are a complete mess. And you're really also not able to get in a ton of climbing because the stuff up higher is not really accessible. So I put a bike smart trainer.
Oh, yeah.
I have a regular trainer. It's like a fluid trainer and it's great, but I'm kind of like, the smart trainers are so cool. You can hook them up to different programs and it makes it adjust like you're actually riding outside, makes it a little more interactive and not quite as boring as just being indoors riding on your bike, but you can keep those legs in shape. I feel like some good climbing on the bike in the off season is really helpful. So that's on my list.
Agreed. I like that. I think that's pretty thorough. This is the longest podcast I've ever recorded for the TrailManners podcast. Ever.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
Yeah. There was one, I guess. Never mind. There was one, but there's a lot of whiskey involved. And I ended up putting it into a 2-parter. That was a long time ago. That was my younger years, back where I owned a saloon. But no, it's a great show. Obviously, everybody has their things they like, need, preferences. And so we always like to hear, as we mentioned last week, leave a comment if we're missing something. If you have ideas listening to this, like, oh, they might like this, or this is another option, we'd love to hear those. And reminder, in our show notes, we got discounts in there for Path Project, Squirrels Nut Butter, Death March Running Company supporting the show. So you get a discount there. Plus, we're giving prizes away. I mentioned the Suunto Spartan Sport for free, Tula Micro Spikes, feature socks. We got some Skratch Labs single serves, TrailManners hats, TrailManners shirts, Now Go Get It shirts, EFS Pro, high carb mix, Death March Running Company sticker pack, and more for free. I'm going to send it all out. All you have to do is leave a comment. Tell me what you want or what I should want if I'm missing anything. Whew, that was a lot. Thank you both for taking the time. Thanks for bringing the beverages and the TrailManners swagger to the podcast, all the props. Appreciate you both on here. Obviously some great ideas. Hopefully help some of the listeners. So we good?
Yeah.
Anything else? Did you miss anything? Something on your list?
No,
I don't think
I
so.
think we covered it.
All right. Well, again, this is going to show up on YouTube for the video portion. We're still new to that, so you'll see some of that on there. But yeah, thanks for listening to the podcast. This is episode number 338. My name's Eric Manning, and we are out. Thank you for listening to the TrailManners podcast. I'd like to thank Heidi Waddoups and Sarah Manning for joining us today. I also want to encourage everybody to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at TrailManners, or swing by the website at trailmanners.com. There you can check out our store page for some cool TrailManners swag, or hey, just click on the donate button. Both donations and purchases sure help the show. And you can hit us up on the contact page or email me at trailmanners@gmail.com and let us know what you'd like to see, who you want to hear, or even if you would like to be on the show. And don't forget to share us with your friends. And if you take just a minute to subscribe to the show or leave us a rating or review on iTunes or Facebook, I would greatly appreciate that. And don't forget all the notes here with the discounts and everything we got going on. You'll see those. And that's it. Long show. Hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, this is Eric Manning, still reminding you, you don't get what you wish for. You get what you work for. Now go get it.